Or just the video part of it.
Sure.
And
hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Robot and the bear.
With who? Oh, it's Luke Chu and Eric Nakamura. Yeah, there it is.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'll take that off. Oh my god, I don't even know. I'm going to see. Okay, so it is streaming. So now I'm going to get the link, and I haven't recorded yet, so.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to type it in.
Right. Let me get my phone out and so I could, like, pass it on via social medias. Let me see what I did. Oh, there you are. That giant robot. Okay. Let me turn off the noise on the
Here
phone.
it goes.
Let me open up the old whatchamadoozles. Oh, I like that image that just came up. Okay, let me see if I could find Giant the Robot.
So we don't have a producer yet, sorry.
No.
So we're kind of...
There it is. Open that up. Oh. We got Theo.
Okay, here we go.
Ellsworth. Is he your next artist?
No, he's not.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of Theo Ellsworth's getting painted over.
That's me.
Alright.
Yeah.
Add this to my story.
Way to go. I don't know, but here we are. So tell me when you're ready, because it looks like the live stream is up.
No, I don't want to look at your thing. Okay, I think I went through your thing and I reposted your story. I'm going to take a quick picture.
Oh yeah, we don't have any photos, so...
Yeah, I'm going to take a picture of us.
And
like,
tell me when you're ready, so we'll get going and do this.
And that.
Wait, do I need one too?
Yes. There you go. Oh, you're crushing my head?
Okay, so here we go. Should we tell me whenever you want to start recording and we can do it?
Let's just no. Give me one second. Recording.
Okay.
What should I put in quotes? Or no. Robot.
It doesn't matter.
Start recording and we. And the bear.
And the live video part will probably have audio not as good as ours recording this. You know.
Right now.
Yeah.
Check out the live stream.
And there's a link, right? You saw the link. Look at your latest Facebook and Twitter has a link.
Okay.
So anyone who's listening or watching at home, there is a link.
Well, it's easy to find Giant Robot's YouTube page, right?
But yeah, I do have a link for you. Wait, you're on your phone. That means I can text it to you.
Yeah, I was just posting this on
Booyah! So that's the link. Okay. I just texted it to you.
Okay.
All right, everybody. So we're still doing a little bit of housekeeping. So if you're actually watching us live stream, sorry. We're still just getting going right about now.
Copy and then open this up on Facebook. What's in my mind?
And of course, it's YouTube has a delay, which is always weird. Is 1 minute of delay or something?
At least a couple seconds, maybe 20 seconds, 10, 12, 10 seconds.
It's the weirdest thing, right?
You know?
Yeah.
It's just, it is what it is.
Yeah. I always trip out on that, though. I'm like, why is there a delay?
Here we are. Look, it's just a picture. They blocked it off just to my ugly mug. But, what can you do?
What do you mean?
I was just looking at it right there.
Oh, weird. Awesome.
Yeah.
Good.
And then I'll post it up here on my actual page.
Yep.
And I'll post it on the Twitters.
Oh, yeah, I put it on the Twitters, so. Yeah, man.
Publish. Just paste that shit. Paste. Continue. Publish. Post it.
It's all about the sound effects. Continue. Posting.
Open up the Twitter. And.
Is there one of those things where you can tell people to swipe up and it works?
I have no idea how to do any of that crap on.
I think there's a way to do it.
Yeah, I am an Instagram stories novice.
Yeah, I'm not so good at it either, but there is a way to like swipe up and whatever, and I'm like, I don't know how to, like, you swipe up, bro. I don't know how to do it. Wait, there is a way to link though, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know that either.
Wait,
I think
there's
there's something like when you swipe up from the bottom of the page, then it like opens up all these weird options.
Yeah.
And, you know, things. Podcast. Live streaming. Now. Boom. Come on. Paste. Paste. There
But
it
yeah,
is.
I'm still figuring this out too, man.
Streaming now. We're on the Bear live podcast. What we should do is we should like create like a thing that we just copy and paste over and over and over again to all of our things and get it all done in like a couple of minutes or something like that. Maybe.
Yeah, whatever you're saying.
Yeah.
Whatever you're saying.
Podcast live streaming now. We go in here. Eric Nakamura and Luke Chu.
I think it's a swipe up for link. I don't even know.
Live streaming now. Tweet. Boom. All right. All of my everything that I'm actually use is being used. I don't Snapchat, unfortunately. I have a Snapchat account, but I don't really use it because.
Oh, that I gave up Snapchat. Okay, wait. Should we start recording?
Yeah, let's start recording.
Alrighty. 2, 1, 0.
Hey Eric,
Hey Luke.
how's it going?
Good, man.
How was your week?
The week's been fine. Just excited to actually podcast. This has been 2 weeks. I think we were thinking 1 week, and this time we did go to 2 weeks to podcast. But huge improvement. If anyone who's watching, they can see this studio.
Yep.
There's what do you call these things? Boom mics.
Yeah.
Boom stands with pop filter. We are actually live streaming. It's on YouTube on the Giant Robot channel. I believe that's totally live and going on right now. We've been already doing it, so that's good. So there's 2 ways now people could watch us.
Mm-hmm.
You can listen to us later, but you can also watch us. So
yeah, you can listen to us in better audio quality, or you could watch us now. With the live stream.
Yeah.
Mediocre audio quality.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see that you're using my contribution.
Someone said, I guess it was, I don't know. Is it Carlos from Angry Bananas said that we're not syncing. We're not syncing correctly or something? I'm not
really?
Sure. Yeah. I don't know. So I have a feeling it's whatever. It's YouTube madness. Maybe your bandwidth is slow, bro.
Is he on? Like, did he just comment right now live?
On YouTube.
Oh, sorry, Carlos. It was great seeing you last night. Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So, wow, what'd you guys do? Anyway, so we'll get to that. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we're gonna start. I mean, we're actually gonna get organized, and we are gonna start with current events.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
let's start with you. You have a show.
Yeah. We have an art show with Hunts Liu. Hunts Liu. He is the. Okay,
That's a great name.
You might Hunts. Anyone named Hunts. Huntz.
With a Z.
Yep, and it's Hunts. Hunts is his Instagram name at Hunts. But he's the one who does the paper cutting into the paper with all the layers of color, or you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. So met him met him from Post-it Show. Yeah, and he's a friend of a friend. Met him from the Post-it Show. He's been doing that and working hard on those, and then little by little, he's making the pieces big now.
Worked his way up from like a couple-person show, from a Post-it note to a couple-person show, right? Didn't he have last year?
He was in a 4-person show, maybe. I think it was 4 people, and now he's a solo show here.
I'm excited.
And the pieces look amazing because I went to look, and they're complicated and beautiful and all that kind of stuff. And I think for a while I always thought, this is a display of master craftsmanship. But then, when it was smaller as a Post-it, I was thinking that, right? This is like craftsman stuff or crafty. And as now, nah, man, it's art. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of intention and design and thought going into it. It's not just like, I'll just make what looks like a crystal, right? Or something.
Right.
And it's way more than that. It's become really, it's more than just technical. It's just beautiful and artistic. And I know that because his pieces are complicated enough where you don't know which is up or down or left or right. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like you could put it upside down and but then like I think when I went to his house to look at the work, the part that was most fun was trying to understand what his vision was and which is up, which is down, which is left and right, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he said, because he said that he's gone to people's houses, he sees like a print of his stuff and it's upside down or sideways. You know?
Well, I mean, that's the thing about kind of abstract art, right? It at the end of the day, is the artist's vision really that essential if you own the piece?
Oh, you could do whatever you want with it, I suppose.
Right,
But
right.
I think the whole thing was I was trying to figure out which was up and which wasn't, etc. And I got it right on a couple of them, like right off the bat. I was like, no, this has to be it because there's no way it just doesn't look correct to a vision. He goes, but someone might think so. You know what I mean? But there was an intention to it. And I would come up with the reasons why. But that's part of that's the design and aesthetic and art going on there. It's a unique or somewhat unique vision, right?
Is he concerned about those kind of things?
No, but it was just became a game. He was showing me a piece and he would unwrap it and I'd be like, okay, which is up? And he'd be like, I don't know. What do you think? And became it was fun.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see
his work's beautiful. He's getting a lot of online traction. I know that. Like people are really interested in it. So it's kind of nice that out of like I don't want to say out of Post-its because it's more than that, but in a very short time from Post-it show mainly to now like getting kind of like some attention for it is really nice.
Yeah. Well, and especially considering the fact that he's an LA-based artist, right?
Yeah.
And Los Angeles. It's kind of like what we were talking about with episode 2, about like the LA art show and how like the art collecting audience of Los Angeles is a little bit more interested in figurative and narrative work.
Yeah.
And Huntz's work is very abstract and conceptual.
Yeah.
And but I think it's great that like. He's getting some traction here.
Yeah.
I probably have to pick something up before he gets too big.
I feel like it's getting a lot of traction. The thing that's interesting is I don't know how to explain it, but he's I don't know how old he is. I'm gonna guess he's 30 something for sure, right? He's not 40 something, but maybe mid 30s. Okay. I'm gonna guess. I could be totally off, but I don't think so. So it's around there. But he was a web designer, and I think he has this feeling that he mentioned that he feels like maybe like time's been wasted. Like not wasted, but like why didn't he do this 10 years ago type of thing, and he needs to move forward faster now, and kind of like that. And I was man. I mean, he didn't quite say it that way, but he said that he needs to like
step it up,
keep working more, finding new things to do. But I realized that in me looking at his art for the last 1 year, in 1 year there's a huge difference, a big leap. That's my opinion in his work, but he feels like, no, not enough. And I'm like, no, but I think it has. In 1 year, it looks completely different to me. So, I guess if you're working close to it, you might not notice.
It doesn't matter if you started in your 20s, 30s, or 40s. The work that you're creating now is an accumulation of your experiences from the minute you took your first breath to now. Maybe even before that. Maybe, let's say, the moment of conception. Though I don't really believe in, like, I don't know. That entire like personality thing, like consciousness, whatever. Like when you're still a zygote.
Zygote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
You mean like a little pollywog dealie?
Yeah, a little pollywog hanging out in mama.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I have been working on my upcoming Chicago show.
Yeah, that's what I was going to get to next. Is as we talk about art right now, how's that going? Because it's been 2 weeks. What have you been doing?
I've just been belting out paintings. Like I didn't like my last big show was in September of last year at Corey Holford.
Right.
And I am admittedly like if I didn't have this show, I would just be sitting on my ass playing video games.
No. You would have the show at GR, remember? That was the whole thing.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
But we got a project coming up.
Yeah. No, we do. But it's funny though that no, you'd be doing something.
Yes, but but so so I with very little time in between. Like I usually would like. This is going to be a 30 painting show, and for a 30 painting show,
that's a lot.
You need like. I would need a year to put that all together
Right,
if I wanted to like. Be on like that kind of level.
Sorry, is it going to be like 29 finger painting ones and then one?
No. I decided to just make it a black and white show.
That's cool.
You know, so, you know, like limiting my color palette and doing it all on paper, I, you know, made the show kind of more affordable.
Yeah.
Because
you're in a different city.
Different collector base, because Rotofuji, it's a show at Rotofuji Gallery. In case you're not familiar, Rotofuji is a gallery and toy store.
And they also make toys.
Yep. Yeah. They're focused on like the indie art toy kind of stuff. So
holding it down in Chicago.
Exactly.
Where it was freezing balls like not too long ago, and
you know, I kind of was thinking like I'll be there in March, so it should be warmer.
Yeah.
I'll be there in 2 weeks.
There was sub-zero, like Antarctica type stuff going on there, right?
Apparently it was colder there than it was in Antarctica. You know?
See, there you go. It was at the polar vortex. Was that what that was called?
I think it was.
It sounds
right.
That name's rad, right?
Yeah.
The polar vortex.
It sounds awful. It sounds like nothing to trifle with.
But that's the band name that, you know, like if you're going to play music. Polar Vortex.
That is a good name.
Yeah,
you know,
it is.
Once we evolve to a music, you know, project, you know,
Polar Vortex.
We'll hold on to that one.
Yeah.
You know, so, but like, yeah, so I've been working on that show. But,
awesome.
And then, like, you know, also kind of working on some upcoming, like, toy projects. Got the Beijing Shanghai Toy Show coming up in April, and
awesome.
You know, but then, you know, on the subject of current events, I feel like I should say something about this because I got invited by Bluefin Bandai to attend the Gundam NT premiere last night.
Wow, you know, so I'm a customer of Bluefin.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't get an invite. I give them money, but nope, guess that's not enough for an invite. So congrats. Congrats.
I don't know whether I mean, like, really the only reason why I got the invitation was because Linda Lee, aka
awesome.
Vampy Bit Me.
You're dropping big names right there. That's dropping a bomb. That's awesome.
She's a big name. But she she's like my Gundam pal. And
does she make model kits?
She makes and streams model kits.
Oh, she actually streams that too?
Yeah.
Holy smokes, on Twitch or something?
On Twitch.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wait. Is she good at making these model kits, or is she just twitching on doing her Twitch thing?
She's very meticulous.
Like, okay, so she's making what grade? Like,
she's like building
like
all
child's
the
grade.
Like, no, she builds like the high grades, real grades, master grades.
She's supposed to be crappy at it. That's supposed to be the charm. She's supposed to be like, I'm gonna snap the head to the ankle. Oops. No. Okay.
She's legit.
Oh wow.
She is legit.
I love that. Then that's even better. You know.
But like she's been like building these things like longer than I have. I can say that much. And
no way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like I remember.
So she is for real.
Yeah, she's for real. She is like serious like nerd shit.
That's,
you know, for real.
That's rad.
But so I actually ran into Angry Bananas Carlos.
Angry Bananas, who was watching. He might have got frustrated and decided not to. I don't know what happened. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
But like so over there, but it was interesting because it was like the first time something from the Gundam license, or the Gundam IP has been brought to the United States to be screened in movie theaters. And actually, I believe on the 17th, or the next Tuesday, is that the 17th? We are currently recording on the 13th.
Yep, today's the 13th, tomorrow's Valentine's Day, but...
on the 19th, I'm sorry, the 19th of...
Tuesday, yeah.
Yeah, they are doing a one-day screening in theaters around the country, like at 105 theaters. So
105 theaters.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's massive.
And what's crazy about it is that like this particular Gundam story is not like some standalone story that you can sit back and watch. Like it references like everything from the original Gundam, anime from 1979 to Zeta Gundam from 1984.
So wait, this is like the Spider-Man movie. Kind of, because that one sort of references Peter Porker and the history of kind of Spider-Man.
You don't really need to know. Like I'm not a Spider-Verse person,
right?
And so, but I sat back and I watched that movie and like followed it.
Yeah, So, but Gundam, you can't.
Gundam, like I was glad that I knew, like all the major, releases,
Right.
or episodes before, that
Wow.
the movie happened. So unless you're like a serious Gundam nerd, you might want to, save your money. But like, unless between now and the 19th, you want to watch Gundam, the original Gundam, Zeta Gundam, Char's Counterattack, and Gundam UC. Come on in and check it out. And let me know how you feel it ended, because
I don't even know what you're talking about.
the movie ended in a really weird way to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
What is that?
okay.
Wait. Is this a spoiler though? Like we shouldn't be doing that, right?
No, it's not really a spoiler, but like, maybe it is. Well, no, you know what? F it. Like, like I don't even think very many people who are watching this are gonna like really, go see Gundam anyways. But like, Gundam was like one of the biggest. It was amazing because it kind of started the real robot phase of Japanese anime. Like following, after Gundam, you had like Armored Trooper Votoms.
Okay, what was before it though? Just for reference.
Okay,
for
before
some of these old people that don't know.
Yeah, before
Not me. Yeah.
Before Gundam, it was what was known as super robots. Like they used space magic to transform or form, or like they swords materialized out of nowhere, and
But that's
piloted by little kids.
Gotcha.
It was like designed, like anime designed for children to sell toys.
right.
And
Well,
then
do you know the names of those robots? Like this is like post 70s and early 80s, right?
Yeah.
Like Gundam's an early 80s.
it's
thing.
It started in 1979.
Oh my god, it's even
and-
older than I thought. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought it was like maybe 81, but
No, 79.
oh, so you're talking like Mazinger Z?
Mazinger Z.
Gotcha.
It was in America. It was known as Transor Z. Say all the like
Shogun Warrior toys
Shogun
that came
Warriors,
out.
Getter Robo,
Yeah.
and gosh, what
Raideen.
Raideen.
Right.
Oh, Raideen.
Sure,
Oh,
yeah.
I love Raideen. Raideen
Yeah.
is an amazing robot
Right.
design.
Yeah. That's one of my favorites, by the way. Yeah.
Guy King is one of my favorites.
Oh, that's because it has a big skull in
In
the
the
chest.
face.
Yeah.
So good.
Viking is dope.
Like if it had rocket punch fists, it was Super Robot.
Gotcha.
So but the way Gundam NT kind of ended, like started kind of bending the line back to like a super robot kind of like thing, like this a sequence of events that made me go, what just happened there? Like that's like some super robot shit.
Right.
And that's all I'll say about it.
Awesome.
No spoiler.
No spoiler. Okay.
But like
Wait, so was it like sort of like watching the Godzilla movie, the newer Godzilla movie?
the Shin Godzilla movie?
Yeah.
I loved the Shin Godzilla movie.
But there was a little bit of like people were like, well, what's going on? Like
I mean,
a little
when
bit
he
of,
shot beams out of the
yeah,
spine.
yeah. People started tripping out. I mean, it started getting artistic and weird, right? But I'm wondering, was the
Okay.
Gundam comparable to that? No.
No.
Okay.
No. But
'Cause,
like,
that was like unexpected. You're like, oh.
But that's the great thing about like Godzilla is that like especially that Godzilla like you don't know what its potential is because it's not like it's
not human.
It's not the 1960s Gojira.
Right.
It was it's a whole different kind of Godzilla.
Yeah.
I actually saw that in the movie theater too.
I did too.
Oh, it was so good.
I saw that in the theater. Well,
when the beams shot out of its spine.
Oh my god.
I
Yeah.
like literally lost it, and then out the tail, and yeah, that was definitely one of my favorite, Godzilla movies, modern Godzilla movies,
It was amazing.
I am looking forward to the new one, the American one. Like I actually thought the first American one was okay, it was good. Like I wasn't.
Wait, that was the one.
Not the Matthew Broderick one.
Okay.
The one that
I was gonna say Ferris Bueller one. I don't know about that.
No, that was terrible.
Right.
I think everyone can agree that's a terrible Godzilla movie. I like the fact that they brought that particular Godzilla back into a Toho Godzilla movie and just crushed it. But but like the one that one that came out. Gosh, how long ago was it? Like 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, some of those are amazing.
Well, no, the American one.
Yeah.
That was actually pretty good. Where we actually fought like these weird genetically engineered monsters, You know, but the trailers for the new one where it features King Ghidorah, Mothra, and Raiden, like, you know, have you seen the trailer for
I
that?
have not.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
The one King, I think it's called like Godzilla King of Monsters.
Wow, that's sort of like the older movie title, but
yeah, it's
okay.
coming out this summer, I think.
Yeah.
And it's got those American versions of those three monsters.
Wow.
So, you know.
Oh wait, did I see it? Yeah, I did see a trailer. I saw a trailer.
Yeah, it's got.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I don't know. I'm like, oh yeah, I did. I kind of like didn't commit it to memory, but okay.
But you're feeling apprehensive.
Yeah, I'm a little bit apprehensive, but yeah.
No,
Okay.
I mean, it's understandable. I mean, like, you know, it's kind of weird seeing like Americans kind of reappropriating, you know.
Oh, we're good at that though. USA. You know.
Yeah,
we'll take your Chinese food and turn it into something else. You know?
Yeah, we'll turn it into chop suey.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but like I think
we'll take your noodles and make spaghetti. Yeah. Well, that's not even American.
We'll make macaroni.
Oh, macaroni and cheese? We'll do that. Yeah.
But macaroni and cheese is good.
I know. See, that's what I'm saying. We're good at it. We are good.
You know, but you like know? What
you want your juk or your rice porridge for breakfast? We're gonna turn it into Cheerios. You know, we got this.
You know,
we're gonna turn it into Frosted Flakes.
Yeah, well,
we add milk to it. You know.
Well, you know, actually, speaking of food,
God.
you know, we just kind of passed a national holiday.
Oh my God! It was a pizza night. No, pizza day or whatever. What's it? Is it called National Pizza Day?
It is called. I think it is National Pizza Day.
Isn't that weird how we have to say national first? You can't just say it's Pizza Day. It doesn't make any sense.
Right. Well, it's because it could just be like Los Angeles Pizza Day.
Yeah. So it's National Pizza Day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I admittedly didn't have pizza, but
I didn't either.
I have a lot of opinions about the subject. You know.
Me too.
Well, I think before we start recording, I was bemoaning the loss of one of my favorite, you know, West Side Pizza institutions, you know, or restaurants.
Slice Truck.
Slice Truck.
Yeah, Slice Truck. And I don't even know when that went out. Like, it's not. I think it's gone like 4 months or 6 months ago, maybe.
Oh my gosh.
I think it's been a while.
Dude, the grandma pizza, man.
So is that a deep dish pizza? What is that?
The grandma pizza is it's like it's a Detroit style deep dish pizza.
So I'm a little, you know, I grew up in LA. We've had our pizza. We have had New York flatter pizza, whatever you want to call it. I know what those are. I've never had a legit, like, a deep dish slice of pizza. I don't know what that is.
Serious.
I watched YouTube videos because I love pizza, but enough for, like, where do I go get that and get a legit one?
Okay, I know there's one in, like, Silver Lake. I can't remember the name of it, but it was, like, featured on, like, Munchies or Tasty.
Because, like, the grandma pizza was, what, an inch or so thick?
Yeah.
But there are some pizzas that are, like, 3 inches thick, right?
Well,
like the Chicago deep dish ones are 3 inches thick.
They're at least maybe 2 inches, but, you know, I mean, 3 inches is, you know.
Yeah, whatever, but that's a big one slice of pizza is giant. I've seen the videos, and they're using, like, bigger than pie pans to make the, you know, pizza.
Right. Well,
it looks amazing. I want to try a slice legit, but I have not.
Well, from my understanding, the Detroit style pizza came about because the pans were actually something that Henry Ford, you know, was using for the manufacture of cars.
Wow.
And then they would retire these pans, and they were, you know, just this, you know, they were good quality metal pans, and they cleaned them up and, you know, oiled them up, greased them up, put their dough in there, you know, and made pizza there.
So you've been to Detroit, you've been to Chicago.
Yeah.
You've had those pizzas, the deep dish?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, so how many slices do you eat of said gigantic deep pizza, whatever you want to call it?
Honestly, like, you could eat, if you go to Chicago and you get, like, a large, you know, pizza amongst friends, you could probably eat one slice and be very content.
Is it a circle or a square?
In Chicago, it's always a circle.
Wow.
You know.
So is it a triangle slice like a pie? Or
it's a triangle slice
gotcha.
like a pie. And what they do differently is, like, the bread is kind of like one of the, you know, it's usually pretty like a puffy bread. And then they have, like, you know, toppings, and they'll put the sauce on top of the cheese.
Toppings. Like a pepperoni, or what do you got?
Pepperoni. The yardstick in which I measure pizza
sausage.
Is sausage and mushroom. I love me some Italian sausage and mushroom on pizza.
Okay, I agree.
Pepperoni is a little too salty for me sometimes.
All right, but
What about you?
I you know what? I like a plain cheese pizza.
Okay.
You know, but deep dish, do they have plain cheese or is it always with a
Yeah,
topping?
they could do plain cheese too.
And how much cheese is in a pizza? Like 2 pounds or what? Is it?
Depends on the size of the pizza.
So I mean,
man.
what's in that deep dish? Is it like a thick bread too, or is it what's up with
The
that?
bread is thick.
I'm so confused by that.
The bread is thick, right?
Right.
Like, you know, so like if you look at the a cross section of deep dish, like Chicago
Is it half
style,
bread?
it's probably a little bit more than half.
Literally, oh, half?
A little
For-
more than
in a
half.
slice?
Like 3/5, like, you know, is the bread.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it would be like
Yeah.
maybe 1/8.
You're not doing keto with, you know, that pizza.
Oh, I thought it was like
Mm.
1/8 of bread, and then you know, like the crust, and then the rest would be cheese and
No,
sauce
no,
and cheese
no.
and sauce and
it's,
cheese.
It's mostly like,
Oh
you
my
know,
gosh.
a bread, and then they will like put the
Okay.
cheese on top of it, and then they put the sauce on top of the cheese.
Right.
You know, so
Yeah,
the
I've
cheese
seen-
doesn't
yeah,
burn.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
That sounds
and,
good.
You know, but like, you know, that's it's yeah. I am a fan of, you know, all these pizzas. Detroit style pizza. What was interesting about Detroit was they actually have as a topping like a curled, like a pre-cooked pepperoni. Like, you know when you cook fried pepperoni, it curls a little
Yep.
bit.
It turns into a little cup of oil.
Yeah. So they will have
Yes.
the pepperonis already kind of curled up a little bit, and then they'll put it on there and cook it again, and like, you know, it's a little crunchier. I guess.
Wow.
It's kind of weird. You
Awesome.
know, I
Okay.
had that. I tried that at Buddy's. I guess Buddy's is the originator of the Detroit style pizza.
I see.
You know.
So wait, what's the difference between Detroit and Chicago?
I
Besi-
think it's the shape, and also like.
So like Slice Truck that their grandma was a Detroit style, you might say.
I would think it's a Detroit. I
Well,
would
was
call
he
it
from
Detroit style.
Detroit? That dude was from both New York and Chicago, I think.
Well, you know,
I'm
one
not sure.
thing-
I mean, yeah, but, you know,
he-
he's modifying shit to what he wants anyway.
Right. Well,
yeah.
I remember talking to him about pizza, and he was saying like, kind of pizza that he makes isn't Italian pizza. It's not New York style pizza. It's American style pizza.
Right.
And
America.
America
Yeah.
style pizza.
Okay.
You know, which means like the bread isn't too thin.
Right.
But he used great toppings. I'm really bummed by this. Like
You got to find out when.
I
Okay,
gotta,
so we have to
I
look
gotta
it up.
see like what happened to,
We gotta look it up.
Slice Truck, because Slice Truck was, oh my god! I was actually thinking like, oh man, you know, before I come over, maybe we could like, you know,
Get a Slice Truck
get
pizza.
us like,
Oh.
yeah, you know, like order a Slice Truck and, you know, have it delivered here, because I cannot, like, I live too far out east to you know, have it, you know, delivered to me.
Right.
It's closed.
Yeah, closed down. So,
Oh, sad face.
yeah. I don't know. Do you? Okay, so we're in LA. Do you have a specific? What is LA's pizza style?
Oh, jeez. You know, I think people often associate CPK or California Pizza
Oh, come
Edition
on.
with
No.
with
No.
LA pizza.
I mean, is Domino's Pizza LA? Like, is that us?
No, Domino's is out of Detroit.
Okay.
Or yeah, I
Like,
thought
you know, like we know what you go to these cities, we're naming pizzas of what they
was
look
it
like.
out of Detroit? I don't. It's out of the Midwest.
But
somewhere.
let's just say someone from Detroit comes to LA. What is the
They
pizza
want
they are
fucking
expecting?
barbecue chicken
Oh,
pizza.
come on, no. That's it. Oh, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, no, it is embarrassing
Oh,
because
I didn't
you know,
know
you
that.
can't go together. You can't get like Mazza's, like, you know, pizza, like, you know, delivered to you, or like, I remember when Mazza was like up there. Now there's this new place. I was actually just watching someone's like Vcast or something like that, and he was
Which pizza place were they at?
I don't know, it was some hipster pizza joint, like, you know, near the edge of K-Town or something
Oh
like
wow.
that.
Okay.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
I haven't tried it yet, but it looked delicious, and like they were using
I'm
like,
down.
you know, like different like meats to, like, you know, season it up or whatever.
Oh, there's a guy. Is it called Barstool Pizza Review? I always watch that dude. He has this thing where he takes one bite and then he reviews the pizza off of one bite type of thing. It's kind of interesting.
Man,
He's
that's
fun.
not. You can't fucking review pizza off of one.
No,
bite.
no. I mean, he takes a big bite, dude, and his one bite is sort of like bite, and then he takes a bite of the crust, like the crust.
Yeah, you gotta have a bite of the crust.
Yeah,
to,
he does all that, and then he reviews it. But yeah, that's fun to watch.
See, I'm
I do
looking
that.
when I go to Chicago this year. This time I'm
Yeah,
there's
in
a
March,
place
right?
called, in March, there's a pizzeria called Pequot's, and like that was amazing. Like what they would do is they would like cover it with cheese all the way to the edge.
Oh wow!
And so when it cooks, like that part gets crispy, and so and super like salty and tasty.
Wow, sounds good. Well, you know what? I guess the next thing I wanted to talk about, because you actually ran into one of these just a moment ago, or right before we started casting, is this food that we're talking about has to go somewhere, and we talked about the Squatty Potty.
Oh yes, yeah. I was actually kind of blown away that you own the Squatty Potty.
I believe the Squatty Potty. Now you could do it with books or bricks, or you don't have to have a Squatty Potty.
Right.
All it's doing is putting you in the Asian squat position
right.
to take a shit.
I mean,
That's
it makes
really
sense. It really does make sense.
Well, supposedly in your body there's some kind of, what is it? Your shit tube. Yeah. Basically, there's a kink in it when you sit.
Right.
But when you squat, it actually it gives you a nice clean flow.
I've seen the ads. The one with the unicorn pooping beautiful rainbow sherbet style ice cream into a cone.
But then one thing I've never noticed in my life too, is that when I'm pooping, I never noticed that there was a pinch. Like you know what I'm saying? Like my poo was not coming out in an oval.
Right. No. It's not coming out blunted on the end. It's coming. It pinches. I always thought that was the sphincter, doing the pinching.
I don't know, but
all I know is when you're just going like, I gotta take a break, squeeze it up, pinch it off.
A pinch? Okay, I got you, but that's gnarly.
Do you think it's actually part of the?
No. I'm just saying is when you take a shit, or I always taking a crap, it's come out like a circle, right? Completely like the shape of the, like a poo, right? A cylindrical poo. So I was thinking, well, if there's a kink, would it actually compress it and make it come out like an oval? An oval.
Have you ever seen it where it comes out and then it suddenly does a sharp kind of bend?
No.
Well,
the bend, I think that's because of the toilet bowl.
I don't know. I never watched the poop come out as it's coming out.
Yeah, I have never done that either, my friend.
I'm definitely an observer. I am my own little emperor. I don't smell it really. I mean, I obviously smell whatever is around me when I'm pooping, but I take a good hard look at what came out.
Well, part of that's the inspection of what your body's creating, right?
Right.
I mean, that's probably what.
If you're not looking at your own poo, then you are doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't always look at it though.
I do.
Okay.
I
you never know though.
I'm usually looking to see if I'm floating.
What?
Yeah, floaters apparently, from what I understand, if you have floaters, it means you have the right amount of fiber.
Oh wow.
In your diet.
And if it sinks,
you don't.
So too much pizza is sinks.
Yeah.
I got
Too much steak dinner sinks.
Wow.
Eat lots of veggies. Floats.
So it's airy.
Yeah.
Airy?
I guess
no,
so.
I don't know.
Well, then, I mean...
I'm not sure. There's probably a scientist that'll say, well, if you eat vegetables, it'll, if you throw a pile of grass on top of water, I guess it stays on top. I don't know. Is that the science? It sounds so stupid, but maybe.
When you wash greens in a tank of water...
It floats?
It floats.
There you go. That's the science here at...
but you also have a bidet.
Yeah. A little water squirter shooter.
Yeah. A little robo rim job.
Gotcha. So... That's an interesting thing. I got that because Katsuya Terada, the artist who comes to LA, stays at my house, and I didn't have one of those ever, right? I was like, well, that's not for me, right? I just wasn't into it. And he was so into it, or thinking, because it's in Japan, I guess everyone has it. It's very common. He brought a portable one, like his own. And I was like, what the fuck? And it looked like a syringe. Like you fill it up with water and you can actually use it. I don't know how, but
it's not something that you touch to a toilet. It's actually something that a handheld.
Yeah, a handheld one. That's how hardcore it was. He was like, "You don't have it, so I bring in this." And then we actually on Amazon you could buy them for really cheap. So our toilets are equipped with these cheap Amazon bidet things. Yeah, and they work. So I'm an advocate. Use it. So I have a cousin who was making fun of it, going, "Yeah, it's all you're just getting pleasure out of it. Like shooting water in your ass. Like you're loving that." I'm like. No, dude. Actually, when you're taking a shit, there's a lot of wear and tear going on down there into the anus. Mm-hmm. Well, that water squirting could be a little bit painful. It's actually not pleasurable. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And, I think he was making it some psychosexual thing. And I'm like, no, actually, it's kind of a little bit painful, but it cleans the shit out of your ass. But that
also depends on the kind of pressure that you're applying to the water, right?
So the thing The Amazon cheapy one only has one, and it's just whatever. Yeah, power. Yeah, it's very powerful, but it's the whole thing is no, it works. I would advocate for it. If you think this is a joke, I swear, try it.
No, I remember going to Japan for the first time, and
it's scary at first.
The toilet that at the hotel we were staying at had the full warms the toilet seat up.
See, that's the
warm
good shit
water,
right there. Yeah.
That's
the good shit.
I don't think it had sounds, but I was very impressed. And of course,
It's
as
high
soon
level.
as I had to go, I was ready with a book, but I think it's a great idea.
You should get one. I swear, it'll change your life.
Well, you know what
It's
I ended
changed
up
mine.
doing?
I swear, it's changed my life.
I went with I bought a big old bulk thing of wet wipes off of Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
And then I watched Adam Ruins Everything on Netflix, and he kind of was going on. He had a thing where basically wet wipes, if you flush quote unquote flushable wet wipes, do not break apart.
Don't flush wet wipes.
You know,
I know plumbers because one's a neighbor of my parents, and they said do not flush wipes ever, even if it says it's that, because that's often what clogs a toilet, and it can really fuck up your sewage line. Yeah. So.
I don't I don't because of that episode. I don't actually use full sheets of the wet wipe. I will break it up into quarter size.
So do you poke a little hole in the wet wipe and put your finger through it so you can kind of help scrape your poo off your finger and then use the wipe? Okay. I was just testing you right there.
I just tear it in the corners and I fold it in half.
Right.
And then
that's fucked up.
I keep
but
I wipe with the dry and then finish with the wet and then
I think by breaking it you're probably helping a lot, because I think a single piece actually they're pretty
big.
strong.
Yeah, they're
strong.
they're about the size of a freaking paper towel.
But it's not as strong as it's not like tissue paper. It's actually a little more stronger because it's.
But I mean, they
careful.
seem to when I'm trying to pull them out of the bag that they're in, they kind of they fall apart kind of as I'm pulling them out. I don't know how long ago the Adam Ruins Everything episode came out in, but they might have tried to tweak with the way these things are formulated.
So for example, Giant Robot Store, our toilet got jammed up once, and the plumber came, and the plumber cleared it all out and said he found one wipe that could have been the problem that was in the he actually used the snake thing, and he said, I did find wipes, or one wipe or something. And I was like, that could be the problem. Anyway, so that was recent, so it can still happen. Yeah, and it wasn't, it's a shared line. It could be 3 different businesses using this one, sewage line. We don't know who put the wipe in there. But
Black Market?
No, it's the other store. No, it's Golden Cabinet, man.
What?
Maybe Golden Cabinet, it's the Giant Robot Store. So it might have been Golden. Golden Cabinet's a Chinese medical place. Yeah, who knows?
That one.
And they have medical customers going.
It's those guys, those dessert kids, those kids with their hipster desserts.
I don't know. Anyway, so Squatty Potty, I would suggest it. There's 2 levels. There's the beginner and there's the expert. So I have both the beginner and the expert.
Right.
I started off with beginner and I went to expert.
Really?
Meaning higher knee squat, brings your knee even higher.
Because you have to develop that flexibility.
Yeah, but I'm Asian, so I could start at expert. I mean, I could squat. I could do the Asian squat
because you're Asian.
Yeah, I got the Asian squat down.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And also, it's another current event. Sorry, this is going a little while, but these are really good topics.
Yeah.
We've talked about poo. We've talked about pizza. Mm-hmm. We talked about Gundam.
Yeah.
And we talked about art.
Yeah.
What about your teeth? Something's going to happen here.
Yeah, so
this is fascinating, everyone. Listen to this.
So, today, actually, I just went back to, had my second cleaning of my teeth. And
so we talked about this on the other podcast episode, right? Did we talk about it, the teeth thing? I thought we did.
I think we probably touched on it.
Yeah. He's the guy that likes art, right? He likes your art. Your dentist likes your art.
Yes. Yeah. Well, let's start back. Actually, I don't know. We could even make this a subject for tonight and hold on the other subjects for later.
No. Wait, we're just about teeth?
No, drugs.
Oh no. Okay.
That's a
heavy topic there.
That's a heavy topic, but I think it's an important one. But I don't know. Well, I'll touch on it and we can save it for another day. But basically, I'm a recovering drug addict, and was pretty much a mess for upwards to 14 years. And,
Wow.
you know, during that entire, like, time, like, I just didn't see what the point of seeing a dentist was, or a doctor, because, you know, when you're self-destructing, what's the point?
Right.
You know, and
What would the doctor say? I mean, or a dentist say even?
you know, I often
Like
you know,
they brush more if you're going to do drugs. I mean, what are they going to tell you?
I don't think it's something that just happens with, like, you know, because, like, you know, when you're, like, doing a lot of, like, you know, like, drugs in general, it's in your blood, you know, and your blood, like, it affects everything in your body, from, you know, your organs to your bones to your teeth, you know, like. And so, you know, like, you know, and you've seen, like, I'm sure people have seen meth mouth before. Like, I have a friend who, like, you know, his teeth just rotted out. You know, like, his gum lines were receding, you know, and it's terrible. And basically it kind of happened to me in the molars. So I'm, you know, when I remember, like, this is my second cleaning. My first cleaning was 3 weeks ago, and I remember, like, you know, I was sitting there and he was, like, you know, scraping through my teeth, and, like, you know, his assistant was, like, sucking up, like, the spit that was accumulating, and I could just see, like, the straw was just covered in blood, you know, and, you know, but this time, you know, and he left me with homework. He's like, okay, you know, we opened up my Amazon app and picked out, like, all these different, like, things that, you know, and gave me, like, instructions on what to do.
Well,
and,
like a electric toothbrush, maybe?
No. He liked manual toothbrushes.
Okay.
But he gave me, we use, like, you know, obviously there's flossing, you know, then there is, like, a water pick, you know, and the water, I am shocked by how much, like, stuff gets, like, stuck to your teeth, you know, even after flossing.
Right.
You know, and, like, yeah, so now I have a water pick, and then, you know, the toothbrush, normal brushing, a tongue scraper, you know, and then a whatchamacallit, he gave me, like, instructions for a medicated mouthwash, and, you know, broken up with salt water kind of mouthwashing.
Wow.
And and so I've been doing that. I did that for 3 weeks, and, you know, today, like, no blood on the straw, you know, applauded me on, like, having much healthier gums.
Wow.
But because of all the damage that I had done before, I'm looking at, like, 5 implants, you know, put into my teeth.
So how does the dentist, what does he say, or, you know, it's a he, so what did he say to you when he looked at your teeth? Like, he's like, oh, you've got problems with your teeth, or what did he say? And did he know why?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm always very honest with my doctors.
Okay, so you told him, like, I've done drugs and here's why my teeth are like this?
Yeah.
Okay, but could he tell by looking at your teeth?
I'm sure he could.
Yeah, all right.
I'm sure he could.
Yeah.
You know,
wow.
You know, I mean, like, I think that's something that you have to be with your doctor.
Of course. Yeah.
You know,
well, if you want maximum results, right. and you're wasting your time by going if you're just hiding shit anyway, why even bother?
Right.
You got to tell the truth.
Absolutely. And let's just,
because I mean, they've seen everything anyway. This isn't you know, new to them, right?
Absolutely. And like, let's say, you know, you're going to have some, you know, major surgery, and, you know, let's just say hypothetically, like, you're, you know, taking some kind of medication. You know, you don't want to wake up in the middle of a freaking operation,
or not wake up for that matter.
Yeah, they could overdose you, or
sure.
they can, like, you know, or they could underdose you, and, you know,
yeah.
and, you know, when you provide doctors with all that information, it helps them out. You know, and it helps, in return, helps you out. You know, so, like, I'm very honest about, like, you know, what I've done to myself and where I'm at now.
Cool.
You know, but, like, yeah,
so you're gonna get 5 new teeth, it sounds like.
Yeah, so that's an interesting kind of, like, thing right there. Like, we're looking at 5 implants, and, you know, coupled with a couple of, like, root canals, a couple crowns, and, you know, maybe, like, 3 or 4 fillings.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
Oh yeah, it is a lot of work. I'm very lucky that, like, you know, my dentist is, you know, is younger than I am,
right.
but he is familiar with, you know, the kind of art toy, scene, and was familiar with my work. And
So are you gonna give him the little Kush figure? The
I should, but like no, I mean, but he's been very helpful, and
Cool.
and willing to kind of work with me, because I have health insurance, but the dental insurance that's attached to normal health insurance is garbage.
Oh, is it?
It's a
Because
waste
I
of
have
time.
I have it too, and seems like, well, I did a cleaning and it took care of some of it, but
Right.
even then, yeah, you're right. I did have to pay, I don't know, $100 even
Right.
from that.
Right. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
It's, yeah.
I mean,
my,
how much is a cleaning? It should be like $100 is what it seems like. Maybe
um,
$200. I don't know,
no.
but I'm sure it's a lot more. It sure seems like $100 worth of work, or maybe two.
No. Yeah.
It can't be like 500, right?
No. I think
It really shouldn't
It
be.
depends on the level of the cleaning, I guess.
Right.
If they're just kind of going in there and like putting the little scrubby thing on your like teeth or whatever, then then that should probably be cheap. But if they're going in there with like sonic tools and like cleaning up your stuff, like
Right. It should
it's
be a little
higher.
more. All
And
right.
I caught like my cleaning cost. I did 2 cleanings that cost me $300 each
Is that the final thing, or is that with insurance?
with insurance.
Oh, so it must have been tons more.
No, it's probably only like 350.
Oh, really?
And they probably and the insurance probably just scraped off $50.
Oh,
That's what-
man.
that's what
See,
I-
that
that-
sucks.
That's
Yeah.
what I mean. And well, the way they were explaining it, he explained it to me was like, if you work for a large company with
Oh,
like
dude.
hundreds of employees,
It'll be like almost like $5.
yeah,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
because
Our health
the
system
they
is
buy
weird.
the system works where it's like the employer is, the money is distributed across all these different people.
Yeah, and they're
you know.
hoping that 90% don't even use it, right?
yeah.
And then 10% will. So therefore, you get a good deal
Yeah.
because here's the 10% that are using it. Is all you're paying for, right?
Exactly.
Oh, that's fucked up.
And
Yeah.
I pay freaking like.
It's expensive.
It is expensive.
Yep.
But the thing, like, to get implants, like, those cost, like, freaking, like...
Yeah, you're gonna have like, was it $10,000 worth of shit done or more? I don't know. I'm gonna guess it's probably like that much money.
like $20,000.
$20,000? Okay.
Worth of work.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I was
just
hoping...
basically one of your paintings. So
I wish. I
All
wish.
good.
More like maybe a couple of them. But
oh, only two. Oh, okay, well, okay.
A couple big ones,
all
But
right.
the thing is
Yeah.
that like the amount of like that's like I'm basically going to be looking forward to eating soft food for a while,
Right on.
because like they.
Oh yeah, you're gonna eat what? What did you say? Like water?
Well, basically they said that like you can't like there's like a list of foods that like because the way they do the implants is like what they do is they go in there, they pull out the whole the roots and of your shattered teeth,
Oh my gosh.
and then they put the implant like the base of the implant in there.
It's some screw or some shit.
Yeah,
right?
with
Metal
the screw,
Yeah,
a metal
yeah.
piece,
Yeah.
like titanium.
Man, wow.
And then they will fill it with like I think pulverized like pig bone,
wow. Uh-huh.
and they wait for the bone to like set or merge with your own bone.
Oh, I wonder if that just means like it's calcifying type of thing, right?
I don't know
Probably.
the exact sciences
Okay.
of how it works, but like it takes like months for it to fully set. But for at least like half a month when they first put it in, you can't like fuck with it at all.
So you're gonna be on a diet basically.
Oh yeah,
This
yeah.
might be a great thing.
This might be a great thing. Or I mean like.
Or you're just gonna have a straw with boba, just sucking. You're just gonna be like sucking boba like for a month.
Oh my
my
gosh.
god! And you will not. That'll
Yeah.
be like twice as bad.
I can't eat like chips, nuts, broccoli.
We'll just grind it all into a liquid. You just
Yeah.
drink your chips
Yeah.
and broccoli together. So wait, so I guess that begs one question for me that kind of worries me is the fact that if you did drugs, it messed with your teeth. But what did it do to the rest of your body? Because the teeth are a ramification, but that's just in your mouth. What about like other things, like your bones or is there? You know what I mean? How can teeth just be the only manifestation of that? Are there other things?
I think the thing is that like
Purple earwax comes out. It's purple. I don't know why. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
no.
Seriously,
my earwax is still like
So no, but I'm saying, is that like bad? Like your bones actually? Are there issues there?
there could be
Yeah.
none that I know of.
I mean, if doing drugs only messes with your teeth, that'd be kind of amazing. Like long haul. Oh, your teeth. Okay, we'll fix that.
My short-term memory is pretty garbage.
Everyone's is though. Everyone's is. I don't. I think
my-
that's just a product of the internet and.
Yeah, like an ADD.
Yeah,
kind of
I think
thing.
so. That's not. I don't think that's from drugs. I think
No.
that's just from the drugs of your phone, maybe, or something. You know.
Yeah, maybe, but like
Yeah.
I honestly believe that I was. Well, the teeth are kind of unforgiving because it's not like one of the things that like that really kind of like smacked me about like our modern world was like I was like wondering to myself like like okay my teeth go bad, we have to brush our teeth once or twice a day, with toothpaste and maybe mouthwash, and this and that, but like what about like 300, 400, 500 years ago? Like why weren't like a primitive man like teeth like,
Didn't they die like at 25 years old though? Like kind of.
no, well, some of them but you think about it, like you brush your teeth every day since you're a kid,
Yeah.
like.
And we have fluoride in our water, right?
Right.
It's already in there.
And he explained to me like no, the game changer was refined sugar,
Oh.
and refined sugar
Yep.
is the thing that is.
That's from like 100 years ago, maybe. I'm not even sure when.
Yeah,
But yeah.
yeah, refined
Maybe more.
sugar. Yeah, just changed. It was the game changer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Refined sugar is why your teeth are rotting out of your head, and why you're getting diabetes and stuff like that.
Yep.
And after
Agreed.
I heard about
I think
it,
you're
and I
right.
thought about it, I was just
That makes
like,
sense. Yeah.
like, all right, I'm cutting out as much refined sugar out of my diet as I can, just
Oh,
because
but it's so good.
it is. It really
Gummy
is.
candy is like it's like mainlining it or something, right?
Dude,
Gummy candy.
You know how much
That is just gummy candy. It's just gummy sugar. It's the best.
You know how much I love frickin' like Japanese candies, right?
Me too.
Like every time I go to
that's a
Giant
proud,
Robot,
That's a very proud thing. I'm Japanese. And I'm like, or Japanese American, but I'm like, Japanese candy. My people got it.
dude, your people have it.
Yes,
they do.
they
Every
slay
time
it.
I go to Japan, I like go
It's
to
the best.
like freaking candy stores or supermarkets, and I stockpile.
It's
like every time I
amazing.
go to freaking Giant Robot, I go to the
Nijiya Market.
yeah.
And you know what? Nijiya Market has a shitty selection, in my opinion, compared to Japan. Like, I'm like, where's the good stuff at? It's not even here, but it's still good.
No, I,
Like, it's a shitty selection that's still amazing.
Have you ever tried
Oh,
like the
man.
Japan crate stuff before?
No,
Ever heard of it?
No, I haven't. But I mean, I ate all that shit in Japan, like all the candy. So I think I've tried just about everything.
Oh, they're constantly coming up with new shit.
That's
you know?
true. I know. All of a sudden, like years ago, I thought Haichu was it. All of a sudden, Poo Chow. What the fuck?
Pucha? Oh, Pucha, yeah.
Well, I was like,
I
what
was
the
totally
hell?
I was totally into that candy
What is
for
that,
a while, but
you know?
now my favorite Japanese candy is Poiful.
Oh, I know what that is. That's been around a little bit.
The jelly beans.
Yeah, that's good though.
I
That's
love
good.
that.
Yeah.
Because it's a surprise.
Yeah,
It's like, you know,
got it. It's tasty.
It's like
I mean,
a
they've
little-
got. Oh man, they're so good at flavors.
Yeah, no, especially
Wow.
grape flavor. Japanese grape flavor, like you get like a muscat grape flavor.
Oh, that's
candy.
the best.
Oh my
and
gosh.
we don't even know what muscat is. We're just eating fucking table grapes.
You don't know what muscat is?
No, I know what it is, but most people don't know what it is. Go to the supermarket and tell me if you could find muscat grapes fresh. You can't. In Japan, you can.
We could find them around here.
Go to Ralph's. There's no muscat grapes. They're just fucking green ass grapes.
They have them once in a while.
It doesn't say muscat ever.
Yeah, they do.
No.
They do. That's where my mom doesn't go to Whole Foods.
Your mom goes to a Chinese market and buys the good shit. I know. She go to Ralph's. The word muscat hardly ever shows up there.
Okay. You know,
Yeah.
I
You're
shop
gonna-
at Ralph's.
If you're going to 99, you're going to get some good shit.
I don't know, man. You have to like brave a lot of unique smells when you go to a Ralph's.
That's true. That's true. But it's I don't know, man. I think you're right there. Japan's got the grape flavor down. Peach flavor's very awesome.
Well, they've
Dude, all
got
those
like
are good.
freaking $100 like melons.
Yeah.
What is up with that? I
It's
thought
tasty,
it was
I
a
bet.
myth.
No, it's real.
It's
real.
It is like I went to a supermarket.
That's
and
like-
they had
that's-
the cheap ones, the $50 melons. You
Yeah.
know, but then like you go down to like those like
that's special.
those train station
That's like-
specialty stores
Nah.
underneath all that.
That is gifts for Yakuza. Like you want to give a gift to the Yakuza for whatever because they're not going to hurt you or something. Give them one of those, but at home you're not going to eat that. Like families aren't buying that for home. That's a gift, like a very special gift. That's what that's for. You want to buy a square watermelon? They have those. They're expensive, but those are all special. Like I'm showing you my wealth gift, or I'm showing
Right.
you how I'm trying to give you special props by showing you here's a $60 cantaloupe.
Right.
It's like bringing an
but,
expensive
is-
liquor bottle.
Is
It's-
melon like Japanese melon the same thing as cantaloupe?
No, they have watermelon and they have cantaloupe. They have both.
They're the quote unquote melon.
Oh, the word melon.
Yeah.
You know, it's a cantaloupe, or it's a melon's usually green there. It's like a honeydew or something, right?
No,
it's usually
not like
green.
it usually has the ones that I've seen like okay.
When they say melon flavor, it's green. Like melon soda is green, right?
Right, melon soda is green, but
Yeah.
the thing is like the pictures that I see, like if you get like melon
Looks
flavor,
looks like a cantaloupe.
yeah,
Yeah, you're right. It does not look like a watermelon. It's not a watermelon.
right,
Yeah.
but it's not like cantaloupe. It's melon.
And it's green, right inside.
But then is it like whatchamacallit? It what do they call the green one here in America?
A honeydew?
It's not a honeydew.
I don't think so because it looks like you're right. It looks like a cantaloupe outside, but inside's green.
But they have yellow ones too, I think.
Oh, they do. Oh, those are Crenshaws, bro. I think it's called a Crenshaw. It's a melon called a Crenshaw, but I don't think they use that. That word went way out of style. Like when I was a kid, you could go to the market and there was a melon called a Crenshaw, and it was yellow on the inside.
Right.
Yeah.
In Japan.
No, here. Is that in Japan? I don't know. They're getting melons from other places that we don't get melons from. Right? They're getting shit from Australia too in Japan.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. That's the reason why the meat in Japan is the best.
We're not getting those things here as much. Yeah.
We're only getting corn-fed American beef.
Yeah, with nice special chemistry added, right?
yes,
yeah.
Chemistry.
Yeah.
Chemistry for better living.
Yeah.
But I think that like I think that like I'm often like I've seen the fruit and like the ones that are like $100 US are like they have like the perfect kind of stem cutting and like a curl in there. It looks like if you read One Piece, it kind of looks like a devil fruit. Like I don't know what that if you guys read that nerd shit. But yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of my jam.
Japan's amazing.
No, it's a magical place.
So one thing we want to talk about today too, I guess we're going to get to it.
Yeah.
The nerd, the inner nerd,
the nerd
our inner nerds.
Oh yeah.
So I guess part of this probably is to lay a foundation of our own podcast. Like, who are we, anyways?
Right.
And what are we made out of? And I think if we don't talk about this now,
we trust the elephant.
If we get this out of the way, every other episode you'll understand our viewpoints and where they're coming from.
Yes.
Possibly, right?
Yes.
So what kind of things were you into and we're talking like this is like formative, like elementary school and junior high school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, were you a popular kid when you were in elementary school?
No. I mean, elementary school, I don't remember the popular, like a big segregation of popular and unpopular.
Right.
And there's some kids, like looking back, I'm like, oh, they were like probably special needs and not diagnosed in any way. Mm-hmm. They were there too, right? There were like kids that were like something was wrong, like,
right.
And I don't think it was diagnosed. They were just like we just thought, oh, they're just a little weird, right?
Right.
But we were equal. They were in the same class, same studies, same homework, same same everything. Mm-hmm. They weren't in a special class necessarily.
Were you popular in high school?
No. Popular is weird, right? Like, what does that even mean?
Like, were you hanging with the cool kids?
I was hanging out with surfer kids and guys in bands, like musician guys.
Oh, those are pretty cool people.
They're kind of like burnouts, though, a little bit,
Oh, you're hanging out with the burnouts.
They're a little bit burned out, a little bit, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I was never popular.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I was like.
I mean, I'd guess that too. Whatever.
Do I have like glow with that like unpopular kid aura?
Let's unpack this. I love saying that, right? Let's unpack. We know a lot of artists and artists that are popular. Which of these artists were popular kids in high school? Do you think? Like, if you're just guessing.
Tim Biscup.
He was a popular guy?
He looks like he could have been a popular guy.
Okay, maybe, right?
Yeah. Shepard Fairey.
You think?
I think so. Yeah, he has that like I roll with the cool kids.
Really? Okay. Okay, I could see that.
Street artists.
Street artists. But okay, then which ones weren't the popular kids? Can we say that? They were just guessing.
Oh, a lot of illustrators I can't imagine being very popular.
Yeah, so I was kind of getting at is when I said artists, I was thinking the illustrators. I wasn't even thinking these. You're thinking of like, okay, we went straight to the top. I was thinking like more illustrators, and I feel like they're geekier and we're not popular.
Like Murakami was probably not a popular kid when he was, in.
Yeah, probably not. No, I'm gonna guess not.
Nara probably wasn't one either.
He was a punk rock guy though.
Right.
Like he was a lead singer of a punk rock band, like
was
in
he?
1980 or something. Yeah.
I had no idea. I know.
Yeah. There's some rad photos of him like as a young like he was a punk rock kid.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Which I don't know. Is that popular? I mean, punk rock probably not.
Well,
Technically,
you are in a band.
You're but you're kind of an outcast, right?
You know, you're probably
punk rock was
hanging
an
out
outcast.
like in the
the
Shibuya.
mean streets of Shibuya.
Yeah. Just sitting there smoking, by the whatchamacallit,
Starbucks? No, Starbucks wasn't there yet.
the Hachiko statue.
Oh, Hachiko? Oh my god.
I can see that. Can you see that?
Maybe.
Like you go there now, they're there.
They're in Yoyogi Park dancing to that little boombox radio with a haircut. With that crazy pompadour.
Was he a Yankee?
No, he had he was just punk rock.
Okay.
Punk rock, messy hair. But anyways, okay.
No. So I was definitely like the antithesis of popular. I used to hang out with a small group of kids. We all listened to like similar kind of like alternative kind of tastes in music.
Me too. Same kind of thing. Well, your era was different than mine. I'm a hair bit older. So what was the music? Do you remember that? This is high school time though.
High school. I was listening to like, I remember I started off like I suddenly kind of started getting into music in like the like mid 80s. Like when I was in junior high, and was listening to a lot of like kind of like synth poppy kind of stuff.
Synth pop. Oh.
Yeah, in the beginning, like Pet Shop Boys and Depeche Mode and Erasure and like all of those kind of like new wave, post new wave.
So you were in the new wave first.
Yeah.
Oh, I was into metal.
Yeah,
so,
I couldn't get into metal. I
was into metal.
It was too white for me.
Oh, it's pretty white, I guess. But isn't Pet Shop Boys pretty white too?
Yeah, they were, but they also had like an outcasty kind of feel about them.
They were pasty white though.
But it was more like it was like the reason why when I was like in.
Did you like West End Girls? That song was cool.
I love that song. I was just listening to that song a couple days ago.
That song ended up being cool, but no, well. So this is a funny little story. Sorry to interrupt, but the US Festival, right, which was done by Steve Wozniak. It was the US Festival I was a little bit young for that, but there were different days. I think it was a pop day, a metal day, and a new wave day. Mm-hmm. And Martin Wong, the co-editor of Giant Robot, he as a kid he got his dad to take him because he was saying, it's like computer guys doing this, Apple computers. And they actually had demos of, evidently, he said, of Apple computer stuff like outside at the concert grounds or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I guess he said that walking in, because each day was separate, different days. Mm-hmm. And he went the New Wave day, and he said that the metal guys were calling him like fags through the fence, like fag. Right? I always thought that was really funny because I was the metal kid. So that would have been me, which is kind of sad, right? Because it's like, shouldn't it all just be one and together? Like today, it might be together. It would all be together. You'd be a new wave band opening up for a metal band. Fine, right? It could work. Somehow it could work, because it could all be in one area. But this was all separated days.
Right. Well,
so
I kind of.
It's crazy.
I kind of miss those days. I kind of miss
because it was separate. You couldn't be a new wave guy if you're a metal guy.
You listen to alternative, music. And that's one group. Metal was another group. Hip hop was another group. Top 40 was like I hated top 40 music.
That's what turned me too. So it made me like other stuff.
And when I thought of metal at the time, I thought of top 40 music.
Oh, like what?
Like Def Leppard and
Metallica?
No. Like Motley Crue and like Wasp.
Wait,
Poison.
You didn't like Wasp? Oh,
like all that.
Wait, Poison. That's getting okay. So this is a different era.
Right.
I mean, my metal was a little different. I mean, I did like Judas Priest and Iron Maiden.
Right.
There's a group called Accept from Germany. I like them.
Right.
So those are the early bands I like.
I think I would even call some of that a little bit more fringy than like pop metal.
Yeah, there was pop metal. Like you're right.
It's like saying like Blink 182 and like it's punk rock, but it's pop punk and
I did like Motley Crue though, but that was like the first album. Like Shout at the Devil was the second album. I think what is it? Too Fast for Love was the first album.
Rat. Remember Rat?
Yeah. See. There's a cutting line here. They're starting to get like a little bit cheesy, but I liked Rat at the time.
Right.
I did like it.
I
was into it. And Dio,
all
Ronnie
the
James
people
Dio, and
that
Ozzy.
I hated in my world listen to that music.
Oh, I'm sorry. See, well, this is perfect.
Yeah.
So that was me.
Yeah, and well, no,
I like Black Flag too, by the way. You know, and Suicidal. I was into like Suicidal Tendencies and Black Flag, but
right. I
the
thought Suicidal Tendencies was like, you know, had that one, you know,
the one hit.
One hit,
and that was like the cheesy song to
Yeah.
me. But yeah, the rest
it
was
it was a funny song.
Yeah.
But like so I you know, I kind of found myself like listening to what I considered. Now, mind you, I grew up in Fresno. I did not grow up in Los Angeles.
Right.
And I think that like, you know, and like the kind of music I listen to is a little bit more fringy, a little bit more like esoteric for you know, a person growing up in the Central Valley.
Right.
You know, and
fifth biggest city in California, though. That's big time.
wait. So what are the other freaking, you know, like now, like, are we calling like Orange, like, you know, like the third biggest city, San Jose, like, you know?
I don't know, man. I think it's San Francisco, San Jose, San Diego, and something like, you know, in Fresno is like fifth.
Okay, well, you know, but like that might be now, but not in the 1970s.
I don't know.
Not in the 1980s.
Yeah.
You know, and so yeah, like I hated. There were people that I hated. There are people that are on a list of people that I believe I would like to see. Like, you know, I was like Arya from fucking Game of Thrones.
Oh,
you know, like I had a list of people that I wanted to see dead.
Wow.
You know, I there's still a couple of names that, you know, rattle in my head when I think about it, and
you mean actual people in Fresno?
Yeah.
Oh,
that I grew up around.
And they were metal guys?
They were just jocks.
Oh,
yeah, it made my fucking life hell.
Oh.
You know, and so,
Gotcha.
I still pray death upon them.
Oh my God.
You know?
Wait, speaking of Arya, really quick, Arya visited James Jean's house to look at his art.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy, right? The actress.
It's fucking James Jean, of course.
Yeah.
You know?
I thought that was cool. I saw pictures. I was like, ooh.
You know? And, you know...
Arya Stark.
Yeah. And I'm sure, like, she's got the money to fucking, like, afford it.
Probably.
You know?
Yeah. Maybe she'll stick needle into James one day when he's sleeping or something. You know? Needle is her sword. Yeah. You didn't think I knew that, huh? Are you surprised?
No, I thought you watched it.
I do. Okay. I wasn't sure if I did the needle reference right there.
Yeah, I know.
Just for you.
I've been binging that show lately. You know, the reason why I'm watching it now is because for the past 6 years, I've been watching people lose their minds with the season finales, like on Facebook.
Wait, did you mention that this is new to you? Like,
this is all.
I think we mentioned this on the previous podcast, but
yeah, and like I would watch people lose their minds on season finales.
They do,
and I did not want any part of that. I was like because I've watched enough like dramas and, you know, whatever's to know like what it's like to get strung along, and I hate that feeling. Absolutely fucking hate it. And so now that, you know, April 2019, the final season,
it's here.
You know,
are you excited?
I'm already on season 6 right now. You know, I'm pretty stoked about it. It looks you know, like, you know,
You're moving fast.
Yeah, like last time we talked, I was still on season 2, so like, you know.
I feel like it, or maybe even 1. I don't remember, but it was something like that.
Yeah. Wow. So I've been plowing through it. Like, you know, I think I watched 5 episodes a night. You know, and considering each season is 10 episodes.
Yep. You're hauling ass.
Yeah, I'm
moving.
I'm watching them grow up.
You're moving
in front of me.
Ah.
You know, but so I'll be caught up probably before I leave for Chicago.
My gosh.
But, like, you know.
Oh, then April will roll around when the season starts, and you're right in the pocket of.
Yep.
You're ready to talk.
Yeah, I'll probably be right there with, you know, like, well, all the nerds, but like Yeah, I mean, but like before music, like I was also like a big comic book guy, and I could tell you're a comic book guy too.
I was a comic book guy. You know, though, like looking back, I like comics, but I didn't kind of grow up exactly. There was a point where I got into it, but I think it was in junior high. I didn't really look at comics much before that, like in, you know, 5th grade or 4th grade. I didn't have a lot of comics.
Right.
But I liked them. You know, just the art. I don't think I read them though. I think I just looked at the pictures.
Yeah.
Like reading it wasn't even my interest, you know.
Yeah,
it was visual to me.
When I was in elementary school, I was really into like G.I. Joe and Transformers. And so like I think my introduction to, like, you know, the comic book stand was like the comic book rack in supermarkets.
Sure, or 7-Eleven had them. Yeah,
There was a
amazing.
and the comic book that always caught my eye was G.I. Joe and Transformers.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
The G.I. Joe comic. Wait, there's different eras of
The
that
Larry
comic.
Hama freaking G.I. Joe comic.
There's one. So there's a G.I. Joe kind of rebooted itself, I believe, into a more modern comic somewhere in the 80s. And they had one that used like really nice white paper in it. Like
I don't know that.
They had a high-end comic as a reboot, and somewhere in the 80s.
That sounds like the Nom. Remember the Nom comic?
That's like before that, I think, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But
No, it was G.I. Joe, and it looked more like modern.
I didn't read that one. I read
Look-
the old Larry Hama comic, and you know who Larry Hama
No, I
is?
don't.
Okay, Larry Hama was like the. Remember the G.I. Joe toys?
Yeah.
How they had the like file card and stuff like that.
Oh, I didn't have G.I. Joe.
Oh yeah.
My parents
you
aren't
had
going to buy me.
toys.
They're not going to buy me G.I. Joe stuff.
You're like all deep.
G.I. Joe killed Japanese people probably, so my
Yeah.
parents aren't going to buy G.I. Joe.
You were deep into like Godaiken stuff, right?
No, that's too late. I was before that.
Oh, but you're only like what, a year older than me?
Shogun Warriors, bro.
Yeah, I remember Shogun Warriors.
And the original Japanese versions though, like
Yeah.
Robocon toys, stuff like that.
Yeah,
That's what
do
I
they
really
call
liked.
it?
I didn't have G.I. Joe though. I never had G.I. Joe, and I didn't have Transformers. I never had any of those things.
Wait, what they used to call the Shogun Warrior toys in Japan?
Chogokin?
No, not Chogokin. The brand was different. They had a different name for the brand in Japan.
Popey?
No, Popey was the company.
Yeah, Popey's the company. Bullmark is another company.
Yeah. But something like oh fuck.
I mean, Jumbo Machinder's the
Yeah,
big
Jumbo
ones. But those are the
Machinders.
2-footers, not the diecast, right?
Right,
Jumbo
right.
Machinders are only the 2-footers.
When I think of Shogun Warriors, I always think of the Jumbo Machinders.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
And I always wanted one of those, but I'm so glad that I don't have the addiction to those figures. I remember seeing a long time ago, the issue of Giant. There were 2 issues of Giant Robot that caught my eye in the beginning. Jet Li on the cover,
very
and
cool.
Jumbo Machinder on the cover.
Very cool. That's issue number 11 and 12, or 12 and 11, I guess, the way you described it.
Yeah, and then I lost touch with it for a little bit, and then we started putting art on the covers. But there was that guy who collected Jumbo Machinders.
He's still around. Tom Frank is his name.
Oh my gosh, I want to see his collection.
He was the guy that put together. Is it the Comedy Nights at? What's the comic book store that's now closed?
Oh, Meltdown.
Yeah, he was. I think he put together the Comedy Nights. That was him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I believe it's him. Yeah, Tom Frank. I think it was him who did that.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Wow. There's a lot
I don't know
of
if
people
he did
in our
comedy.
community that collect Jumbo Machinders too, or just those kind of old school
I've got
toys.
some.
I know you've got some, but
A lot.
what's his name? Ugly Doll.
David.
David Horvath.
Oh, he likes toys in general.
He would give away some of those.
Amazing stuff. Yeah. I think a lot of it is research, and he's researching, he's checking it out, how it's made, and how good it is, and all that stuff, and then I think he quickly lets go of it. He's like, okay, the research is done. It's like a lot of mental research. Sometimes it seems like he has 3 of the same toy.
He would last time I remember he
David's really that's a peculiar thing I don't quite understand, but yeah, he would. I think he once dumped a bunch of AT-ATs, like big AT-AT toys, in for free just in the alleyway across from Giant Robot store, and I got one, and that's where I have an AT-AT, and it's from David.
Well, he gave away.
I mean, big one, Yeah,
I know. The most recent generation of AT-ATs that came out, which is because there was the original Kenner ones, but then
it looks like the Kenner one though, the one that he.
But they're bigger.
Are they bigger?
Oh, they're bigger.
Shit,
they're to scale to the figures.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've got that.
And that's a nice one. I remember Dean picked up a bunch of stuff. He was getting because Horvath was getting a lot of Super Sentai or Power Ranger.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and he'd put that in what we call the Horvath Alley, which is right across from GR.
Yeah.
And a lot of people wouldn't know what to do with it, but it was just giveaway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this kind of gets into I don't know, a root stuff, back in when we were kids thing, I found myself being into toys way into high school, You
Wow.
know, when I
I stopped, man.
when I shouldn't have been into it.
Oh,
but,
see,
like,
toys were gone for me at that point.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Well, it was like I think it was by my sophomore year when I finally kind of let it go.
Whoa.
You
What were
know.
you getting? So sophomore year means you're 15 years old.
And I was just collecting figures. I was
What
into
kind?
collecting toys.
You mean like Marvel?
Like, no, I was
Marvel?
collecting like freaking Transformers and GI Joes and stuff like that.
Were they still new at that point, or were you getting? Oh, you were getting the new ones that were like plastic. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
But like and then like by sophomore year, I switched one addiction out for a new addiction, which was music.
Right. I see. Yeah.
And
I see.
like and like. Because I didn't realize how much music cost at the time. Like when I found out like an album costs like $10 to $15, it's like whoa.
Yeah. No, it cost.
Money, man.
It cost. Yeah.
And
then the weird thing is, I think that's where the music industry really got fucked later. Man, in my opinion, it's a little bit of payback. And I heard this from Automator, is the one that told me this. Dan Automator said that it's sort of payback how people started sharing music.
Mm-hmm.
And it sort of became payback because how many albums did you buy for one song that was good for one song? But you thought the whole album would be amazing like that one song.
Right.
And you got duped into buying the whole album, and it was like maybe there was another song you liked, but mostly you're buying it for one or two songs thinking the whole album was going to rock. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he says, well, there's the music industry, it's getting paid back now. Now the fans are just like, fuck that. I only want that one song or two songs or whatever
it's
it
called
is.
buying a single, man.
Yeah. I don't know if people did that then. I think you were tricked into buying the whole album back in the day.
Now, I would buy
You'd buy a 12-inch record single and go, I'm just going to buy the single.
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah,
wow.
I collected singles.
So you bought West End Girls as a vinyl record single or a cassette single?
I have the 12-inch record.
What about the cassette single? Were you buying cassette singles?
No, I wasn't buying
that seems shitty.
Yeah, because like it's just too much work for like a cassette.
Yeah.
But
a vinyl, I guess you're getting an extended remix.
Yeah,
right?
you get the extended remix. The dub plate.
Did you have like one of those little fluffy hair dealies going on?
Yeah.
Asian bro, fluffy hair.
I always kind of kept messy hair.
Did you wear ton sur ton clothing? Do you know what that is? Ton sur ton?
No.
Okay.
What's that?
I think that's too old.
What is it?
It's just really baggy looking MC Hammer, but new wave white people clothes. Those are white people, really.
No, when I got into rave music.
Oh my god, rave music.
Yeah, I got into pretty baggy clothing, but like I never like went too extreme. Like I never got into like wearing teddy bear pants or any crap like that. Remember teddy bear pants?
No.
They're like pants literally covered with like
Oh my god, I've seen
teddy
that.
bears.
Oh no,
yeah,
oh no.
Yeah. No, it's something horrible.
Right. What's that brand that the baggy?
They had
Junko.
Junko.
Junko. Oh.
Yeah.
What did that mean?
I
JNCO. It must have been JNCO. But
or
anyway.
KO no, that's Junko, the Japanese name.
I've never been into. I didn't get rave music. Was not for me.
See, like it follows the path of my love of electronic music. You know, from like new wavy, post new wave to like when around my sophomore year, my friend introduced me to like bands like Nights Are Ebb and Frontline Assembly.
Oh no, Front 242.
Front 242, and I was like,
and then it goes to Ministry and
Ministry and like I
Nights Are Ebb.
I was a big like industrial music guy.
Nights Are Ebb. I thought they sucked, man.
At the time, it was just something like I'd never heard before, and like reflected my love of electronic music and my.
But it crosses the line. There's Skinny Puppy.
I love Skinny Puppy.
Right. Yeah. So that is not quite industrial, but it's not quite punk rock, and it's not metal. It's not. But
it's electronic.
Seems like it's sort of a little edgier, but I'm not sure.
Well,
I guess Ministry got there too, right?
Yeah, Ministry got a little bit more like industrial metal kind of thing.
Yeah, like Mind Is a Terrible Thing to Taste. Mm-hmm. That album's awesome.
Oh, that album's amazing.
Yeah, and what's the other one? Land of Rape and Honey.
Land of Rape and Honey, and Mind Is a Terrible Thing to Taste.
Those two albums I really liked, but I don't think I liked the ones after that or before it. But those two were amazing.
Yeah. Well, the Psalm 69 was a pretty good album, but like only some of it, but right. I don't know. It's
anyone who's checking out music, man, the Ministry did rock.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, the guy making art toys, wasn't he in the Ministry? I forgot his name. Who lived in Bakersfield. The tall, thin dude. I'm sorry, Mike.
Yeah.
Wasn't he in the Ministry, like a later incarnation of the band?
Yeah, he said he used to play guitar with the band.
Right, like on tour. I think on tour, right?
On tour, apparently.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, that's what he was telling me. I don't know.
That's a later version of where I was no longer into the ministry, but
right.
yeah.
You know, I mean, like, you know, I lost touch with Ministry after the Psalm 69 album, but then I just saw them actually just like a couple months ago.
You went to a concert?
I went to their concert.
Wow.
There's and they did, like, you know, they obviously they still rocked. You know, it was really heavy, you know, like, you know, sound. And they even, like, at the very end, they played an acoustic version of Every Day is Halloween.
Oh, I didn't know that song.
That's like that was back when they were synth pop. You know?
Okay.
Like,
so the one thing about industrial music that was always trippy is it's like guys would be wearing army boots, but they were also kind of new wave looking.
Yeah.
Right? It was like this weird meshing that kind of like I never quite understood. I'm like, okay, you're listening to this synthy, weird poppy stuff, but also it can be harsh. So
I had a goth phase, I guess, because you know,
it's so weird.
That's why I still wear a lot of black.
Ah, it's so weird.
I know. We come from such different roots. Yeah, here we are. But so you grew up with metal.
I like metal, and then I got into, like, you know, I like punk rock. Then it's like whatever you want to call alternative music and indie rock, right? I got way into indie rock. So
I got into indie rock when I was in college. You know.
So it was like that, the same kind of thing. I was still into that, but yeah, that's kind of the transitions I was into.
I when I got into college, I started kind of like digging into the roots and like was a big Black fan. And,
oh wow!
You know, and was a big, like, I think, what was I listening to back then?
I was into Nirvana. Like that was kind of like a band, or Soundgarden and Nirvana, right? Those two bands were ones that I really
grungy
liked.
stuff.
I was totally into that.
Yeah, I remember when Smells Like Teen Spirit like debuted and 120 Minutes. Remember that show?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, and my
MTV.
There in all the dorms that there were literally 5 of us. You know, a group of guys and girls that like were into alternative music, and we would all congregate to one of the dorms where we would like monopolize the TV.
Wow.
To watch 120
Oh my
minutes.
Gosh.
You know, and that was
when music videos mattered, I guess.
Yeah. Well, before YouTube.
Yeah.
And this is 1991. You know.
Yeah.
And like, you know, and I was also really into kind of like that 4AD kind of ethereal sound.
Okay, so that was the opposite. I was into 4AD also.
Mm-hmm.
So I did see Cocteau Twins live.
Yep.
I saw Lush.
I
was a big 4AD fan, but not all of it. There were still some that came out, and I was not into it. Yeah. But I did like, I liked on the Creation Records, including like that means like Slow Dive.
Oh, I
love
Slow Dive. Right? I can't believe they're back.
Ride was another one. I liked Ride.
Yeah.
So there's a few of those bands that I really liked as well. So it was like 4AD, and I liked the Creation Records stuff too. Not all of it, but I was a fan.
I was a big shoegazer.
And the weird one was Swerve Driver, because they were a harder version of a shoegaze band, and it's
My
like
Bloody Valentine.
Yeah. Oh, that's the best one right there. that is my favorite.
Yeah,
I would say with all the music that I've been into, punk rock, new wave, whatever it is I liked, the My Bloody Valentine Loveless album is still like my favorite album.
Oh my gosh.
I think that is my single favorite album of all time. Still.
Really?
Yep. Absolutely. 100%.
Wow, what is my favorite?
I think I've bought that album at least 4 or 5 times, because like I get the CD and I put it away, I don't know where, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna buy another one.
Yeah.
And then I would lose that one. I'll buy another one. I bet you if I dug through all my shit, I'll find about 4 of those copies. I'm dead serious, and I have it on tape cassette.
Wow.
Yeah. I literally have it on tape cassette as well. So yeah, no, that's how much I like that album, is I'm willing to like buy multiple copies.
Yeah, I think at the time, like, I felt that way about like 9 Inch Nails, but like
wow, really?
I was a really angry guy, man.
Wow.
I was like piss, shit, and vinegar up to here, man.
Wow.
Eyes are brown,
Jeez.
So like, but like, then like, but like, yeah, I mean, like, now that like I'm, in midlife, I can't like, I just don't have the stamina to maintain that kind of level of anger. Though I do have a death list.
Wow. Yeah.
But like, that's just like, like fantasy kind of stuff.
Right.
It's just something I'm like, oh, I really want that person to die painfully and horribly.
Those that know me, there's some people that are kind of dead to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would say they're dead to me, meaning I don't want them to die necessarily, but I pretend that they're not alive anymore.
Right.
So I'm at the point where I don't want to kill them. I just pretend that they've died.
You know.
So like I've had people ask me, sometimes it comes up in passing, and I'll say it with a straight face, but I am joking. Like they'll mention somebody, and I'm like, oh, that's a person that's on my list, and it's a short list. But I'll say, oh, didn't they die in a car accident like 4 years ago? And they'll be like, what? And I'll be like, I'll do it with a straight face, but I'm joking. Because I put them into death zone where I pretend they're dead.
Actually,
that's how I
me about that.
And that's how I can, that's just an easy way for me to not to just, I live with it and they're just out of my life.
Yeah.
And I just literally pretend that they're dead. Like if I hear them, I'm just like, oh, that person died.
I actually...
And it's not bad for them, but, whatever. They can go on living. I don't give a shit, but...
There is a person that... Like, I remember you telling me about your death list, and...
Oh, I did?
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
yeah.
Okay.
Because I think I was talking to you about, like, people... or other, like, friends that I had where things have just gotten, like, come to a point where, like, I just...
There's some people I don't like, but I don't want them, like... Then, there's only a few people that are really on that list, right? Most of them, I'm like, well, they wronged me, but fine. Like, goodbye, and I'll just not deal with you anymore. But they're not dead to me. But there's just a few that are dead to me.
I borrowed that idea to a certain degree, because, there's, one or two people in there that more recently just kind of...
Oh, my God. Recently?
Like,
mine are kind of a while ago. So.
Within, like, the past 10 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That kind of, like, slighted me in a way that, like...
Wait, where's the pad of paper, man? Where's the pen? Who are these people?
It was the first name I put on the list last time.
Oh, really? Okay. Gotcha. I remember that list.
Yeah.
So I think there's some people that were listening to the pen strokes, trying to figure out what you were writing.
Really?
Yeah. I heard... Yeah. Yes. Yes. I've heard that.
Serious?
Yeah.
I didn't know that many people listened.
Not that many, but enough where I've heard, like, I wonder what he was writing. And I'm like, did you hear the pen strokes? And they're like, yeah, you could hear it. And I'm like, well, what was that? Decipher it. Figure it out. Hack it.
Anyways, well, I had a falling out with an artist friend. And, rather than kind of hold on to that kind of anger, after, like, talking to you about, like, oh, yeah, people that, you just kind of write up as dead to you.
Yeah.
I was just I was like, oh, that's a good way of handling it. And so I was like, yeah, there's definitely one person that is, like, completely dead to me. But if I run into him, I'll generally ignore him. But, like, if he says something to me, I don't want to be... I will reply in a very blunt way, not in a rude way.
Yeah.
Like, if he says hi, I'll just say hi, and I'll keep on walking.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, ghosts can talk. So, if a ghost is talking to you, you got to reply, right? Sure. So, yeah, the dead ghost kind of came back and said hello, maybe. You just say hi and let the ghost go away. That's all. Yeah, they're dead still.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, no, it's I think that's like the...
I mean, they're zombies, basically, right? It's like Walking Dead. They're zombies who talk. It's cool.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's, you don't want to, like, it's just one of those things. You just don't want to put, too much time on...
Or none.
On the dead.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Like, it's, I have, like, all kinds of, like, weird, like, thoughts on that as well. But, like, okay, so you were, like, into the show... You were collecting, like, the Metal Shogun Warrior stuff when you were a kid.
Yeah, I was into it. I mean, collecting's weird because it's not like I had money to go out and buy it. I mean, it was mostly, like, birthday, Christmas, whatever, get an A in my school, whatever it is, maybe I'll get one. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was like that. It wasn't... I didn't have any money to go buy a shitload of it.
My
but that's... I was into that, and I was into D&D. I was into baseball cards.
Really?
Believe it or not, yeah, baseball cards.
Were you collecting a particular team,
I think I like... Fundamentally, I like sports, but I don't follow it because it's not like they won't help me. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, if I know that Kobe scores 80 points in a game or 81 points, like, I know that, but that's a wasted brain matter for me to really know, like, stats and details, but I used to care. But I realized those guys don't care about me. Really they don't. I mean, it's just like one of those things to fan out on. And I just got tired of it after a while. I was like, okay, they're just people that are good. They excel at one thing, right? Baseball or something, right?
Right, there you go. Yeah.
But it's ultimately, man, I got the rest of my life kind of comes up, and it's like, oh, I got to deal with other stuff that's more important than me remembering stats of a baseball or basketball player. You know what I'm saying? I watch it in passing, but it's anything else has to take precedent over like me watching sports. Like that's the worst thing to do, in my opinion. So yeah, that's the last priority in my life is that. But I still might watch it, but it's the last priority. Like I didn't watch one full baseball game. Well, maybe a World Series. I might have watched one. But like basketball, no. Like I've not watched a full game. I haven't even watched a half, right, this year, like on TV. I've not. So there you go. It's that little, but I did like collecting the cards. I thought they were cool.
How do you feel about like this? You mentioned D&D, like
I love D&D
How do you
as a
feel
kid.
about the resurgence of D&D? Like Dan Harmon has that show where they get like a couple of other friends and a celebrity to jump in on a D&D game and they animate it and all this other.
No, I don't watch any of that. I played first edition, so this is like the oldest version of it.
Right.
I actually literally that's the game I played, and that was 12, 13 years old. But it ended somewhere around there, or maybe 14, and I didn't play it again after that, so it ended there. But I do like seeing the pop culture ramifications you see everywhere, right? It's in everything. Even, okay, wait, well, like, is it, what is it, the shows that have been on? It's been on everything.
Right.
Including, True Detective. There's D&D references in the latest True Detective.
I haven't watched that show yet.
Yeah, the latest version. It's a third season, and there's D&D stuff in there. Right? It's like that crazy where it's going to infiltrate all levels of pop culture in any serious shows versus teen comedies or elementary school comedy type shows.
Right. Well, you get
it's in everything.
RPG role playing games in general. Like I think my thing for RPGs was, I grew up playing, like, I used to, my first computer, like, was an Atari 2GS,
Wait, Atari?
No, an Apple 2GS.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, an Apple 2GS. Actually, I had an Atari before.
Wait, this is interesting. My first computer was an Apple II Plus.
Right.
So GS was a an upgraded edition of that.
Right.
Yeah, it might have had 64.
Color.
It might have had 64K of memory when mine had 48, I believe.
Mine was actually was signed by Woz.
Wow.
And
the GS. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And,
that was, so I can almost guess that was probably 84, 83.
Probably.
I think that it's somewhere around there. I can almost guess because aside all this, I was a big computer geek at that time. And I was using, I don't know, BBS systems. Do you know what that was? Bulletin boards. So I was a hardcore bulletin board, basically it's internet before the internet.
Right.
I was totally into that. Hardcore.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I spent too much time on that. So I had email before there was email, but
right, before AOL.
Before any of that. This was early 80s. I was already messaging people and stuff. Yeah.
Dang. Yeah. I didn't. Yeah. I remember playing around with my dad's PC, back in the day. But that, I that's how I got really into the Ultima.
Yeah. That's
video games.
That's like level 1 online RPG stuff, right?
Well, it wasn't online at the time.
Oh, you're right. It's not online.
Yeah. But and
You're
I remember
right. That's so
Might
dumb.
and Magic, and that's how I just didn't know very many. I didn't have very many friends who played D&D.
Because they had Ultima 2 and Ultima 3. Yeah.
I think I started on
That's
Ultima 3.
Okay.
But and that's basically kind of it's literally D&D without the imagination.
Sure.
The necessary imagination.
That still was pretty raw.
Yeah. Well, it's remember Zork?
Sure.
Yeah.
I do remember.
Did you ever read Ready Player One?
I have not read that book.
Did you see the movie?
I did not.
Yeah. Read the book.
Okay.
Read the book.
Yeah.
But they get into Zork and
Do they?
Oh yeah, because the guy who wrote it is totally he remember Leopoldin, the super robot, that Japanese Spider-Man.
Sure. Yep.
They reference him in the book.
Ready Player One, huh?
Yeah, Ready Player One.
So
in the book.
get this. This is a hard one to explain, but before when I was in was at junior high, one of the things I was doing was I was pirating software, right? I was a hardcore game pirating software guy, and enough to the point a little bit. Now there were people really good at it, and this is national. We're talking a national. It was national. We were trading games nationally. So when a game would come out, literally the day of, I would be able to get a hold of that game, and I would trade it. I would like immediately start sending it to other people. So I was actually like involved in sending out pirated games. Like someone would crack it, I would get a copy, and my job was I would be sending it to more people. So basically I was like a distributor of a hacked game.
Never got in trouble?
No, but close. So the thing is you were so how would you do that, right? You're doing you're using your phone line, and you would have to use the phone line, and it would take like 30 minutes to transfer a game, but that means you're making a long distance call to do it. Right. So to do a long distance call, I was doing illegal stuff to make a free long distance call. I knew how to do that.
Oh, you were what do they call it? Like
it's a phone freak.
Phone freaking.
Yeah. So I knew how to do that. So I was doing it, and there were codes for it, and I was totally like always doing it, and I was sending games all over the place to the point where some of the old games, maybe there's one or two that like there's a welcome screen and the game comes on, it says cracked by so and so.
Yeah.
My name would be on there too. Sometimes one or two times my name would be on there. Just distro by. And my name would be on there.
What was your name?
Well, I had cheesy name, the Iceman.
Iceman.
But the Iceman came from George Gervin, the basketball player. The Iceman. He was known as the Iceman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my friend was the Doc, Dr. J.
Oh.
So he was Dr. J. So he was known as the Doc, and then I was the Iceman. I was George Gervin, right?
Suddenly the FBI comes crashing through the...
But that was like a fear because you would hear that it would happen to some people because we're racking up probably thousands of dollars in illegal phone calls because it was expensive and we were doing that a lot. But yeah, I was sending games all over the place. And
wow.
But the whole thing was I can get the game day of if it's released, I can have a copy already. Wow. So that's kind of what was the cheer about it. I was into games, so I was
what games were you playing?
Stupid ones. Karateka. It's like a karate game that
I remember Karateka.
Yeah, playing that. That was one of the ones I got right away. Probably Escape from Rungistan. I mean, that was a shitty game, but
I remember that one.
That was that would be the level 1 of a first-person type of game, first-person shooter type of a game. Okay. But it's not shooter, but sort of like a first-person adventure game. Mm-hmm. That was kind of like one of the first ones. Yeah.
These are all like PC gaming.
It's all Apple.
Apple
II Plus, Apple II, whatever.
Dang.
Right?
So yeah, the modem. Do you have the one with the phone like?
No, it wasn't that exactly, but it was a later version of that. That was early. I had a thing called an Apple Cat. It was a 400 baud modem, which was just basically slow, man.
Right.
But it was enough. You could transfer a game through the phone line, and I felt like it was about 30 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you have your own phone line when you were a kid? You were a kid?
Later, but I didn't as a young kid, so I would like burn up my parents' line. You know what I'm saying? And if you picked it up, the game's ruined, right? You have to start over. Right. But later on, man, I don't know how old I was when I had it. 19, 15 years old, maybe I had a phone line at that point.
Wow.
I think. Did I have my own phone line? I can't remember. Those 2 phone lines in the house, I don't think I had my own, but I was able to access one of the lines.
I never had my own phone line.
Yeah. So I was able to access it, but it wasn't my own line. But that was something I was into.
Wow.
And so once in a while I read up on it and so I find out someone else was into it. But most of the names, like, they're kind of well known. Like if I type in the code names of some of the people that were actually doing that illegal stuff, I could read up on them because they were like kind of well known in a way.
Wow.
I was kind of a small fry, right? I was a grommet, but there's some guys that I was working with, like sending them the games, and they were like the big guys. And I could read up on them, and they're like kind of.
What are they doing now?
I have no idea.
Do you think they're still involved in gaming?
Probably. I think not gaming or just hacking? Computers, probably like programming. They're probably geniuses, They're really smart dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but I was a grommet.
Wow.
Yeah, I was into
still,
that.
that's fucking dope.
And that's like 83, 84. But, that's kind of the backing of just, I like computers then, It was just really neat. And I like the technology of these games and being able to hack them. And I didn't know how to crack a game. I don't know how to do that, but that's why I was the grommet hanging on, just sending it around to people. I could do that. That's just like labor, It's like like carrying a sack of potatoes from one end of the place to another.
And you know enough basic computer tech to computer stuff to
Yeah.
be able to copy, transfer, and
Sure, but I had a notebook where I had all the phone numbers of all the like guys, so like I actually had that, which is bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
If the FBI ever raided you, I have the notebook that says here's how
Wait,
you.
so how did you
call
almost get in trouble?
Well, I mean, it's one of those things where like the you know, a detective called the house once, and it was regarding this stuff, and you know, like I remember that happened, and I just didn't call them back. That was it. And I just eventually they just gave up. Like they might have called twice. It's not like they rang the doorbell, but they called looking for me. And you know, it's one of those things where it's like nobody called back. And when you don't call back, eventually they're just like, well, I'm not. You know, this isn't like too small of a. This isn't a big deal.
Right.
And they're just like, fuck it.
You grew up in Los Angeles,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I mean, like, imagine, like, I'm sure, like,
So if you answer the phone and like engage with them, yeah, you're gonna get in trouble. But if you just kind of like, you know, they're not gonna come at. They're not coming after you. You're not that big of a deal.
right. No, I would think the LAPD at the time had much bigger fish to fry.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was nothing to them, you
Yeah.
know. But maybe it's a good warning, or maybe you should stop doing this, though.
Did you stop after that?
Yeah.
You're like, okay.
But then I would hear stories about some of the people that I was working with in other parts of the country, and then sometimes they got busted. You know, and I would hear about it. I'm like, oh, this person in Texas that I would always send games to got busted, so I can't call him or anymore, you know. And then you'd hear about who gets busted. It would appear.
Were you doing anything like that, like during the good old, like, God, what was that, Napster days?
No, no. That's way later. Those,
Yeah, I didn't even
No.
discover Napster until it got like all the public attention, and I think
Yeah.
by then, like, you might have had like by the time it got public attention, you had like 1 or 2 months to kind of like enjoy the service before it got shut down.
Oh no, I didn't do that, man. I probably didn't even know how to use it. I never even touched Napster. No.
Did you ever do like LimeWire file sharing?
Lime-
P2P kind of stuff.
Yeah, I did. I'm trying to remember which ones I did though. For music, there was one for music specifically, and I don't remember what it was, but I used one of them. I already forgot the name. That's
Yeah.
pretty sad.
I used to like, after like, industrial music and rave music and all that other stuff, I got really deep into like the quote unquote intelligent dance music.
What's that?
It's kind of more like an experimental electronic kind of thing, like Aphex Twin,
Oh, okay.
Busher,
Oh.
Altecker.
Oh, okay,
like,
cool.
all that stuff. And like if I wanted to find like weird like
Wait, what'd you call that? Intelligent dance music?
they used to call it IDM.
Really?
Yeah, intelligent dance music.
Never heard of that.
Yeah.
All right.
And like they would like there used to be like a message board like on the internet, and they would use the IBM logo but like change it to IDM.
What was so smart about it?
It
Was
was
it just because they're making music and not just?
it borrowed the certain aspects of dance music, but it was just a lot more experimental in terms of its structure and its sounds. Like, remember, like, do you ever, like, were you familiar with, like, drum and bass and stuff
Sure.
like that?
Yeah.
They used to,
Like Photech.
oh, yeah, like
You know
Photech.
what it is?
Oh, I know who Photech is. Yeah, for sure. I was into that stuff.
Uh-huh.
But, like, they there was a, they referred to it as drill and bass because, like, the beats were just so, like, kind of like
That's like a hardcore techno music or something, right?
well, kind
It's
of
almost punk rock.
Oh, it was a lot of bedroom technicians.
I see.
You have a kid with a laptop and a mixer,
Wow.
and a CD burner.
That's cool.
I remember there was a.
That's very cool.
Well, there was a record label. I remember when I was doing my zine, like there was a label called Phthalocyanine, based out of Southern California.
What's it called?
Phthalocyanine.
Wow. Okay.
Or
What is
something
that? Is that sounds like a chemical compound or
I
something?
think it is.
Okay.
Yeah, but he used to do really weird experimental kind of like electronic dance music
Oh, wow.
kind of stuff, but his label was like a CD burning kind of thing. So he and his friends would like create music, and they'd burn 50 CDs of it, and that was it. That was the release.
Wow.
So
It's in LA?
it was in
How
LA.
cool.
Yeah, I then you have kids like Kid 606 who was out of San Diego.
Oh, he was in punk rock bands before that.
I'm sure.
And he had a record label too, right?
Yeah.
And that record label was not dance music; it was punk rock. I knew who that was, but it was like he was into punk rock, but then he he went to dance music.
Yeah,
punk
or
rock.
he went to electronic music, and
Yeah.
like, even his like
I know that
electronic
is.
stuff was like so kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
You
okay.
know.
Well, okay then. What about Alec Empire?
Oh,
Digital
man.
hardcore.
DHR. I loved Alec Empire and like Atari Teenage Riot.
Oh, Atari Teenage Riot and
Yeah.
what was it? Shizuo or something.
Shizuo, yeah. I thought
Sure.
that stuff was hilarious.
Yeah.
You know, because it was like so like white noise. You know, like everything thrown through a distortion filter. You know, and I loved that stuff. I thought it was so like it was edgy and kind of like it was. I felt like it was like I mean this is like mind you this is all like in the mid 90s.
Yeah,
You
for
know,
sure, the mid 90s.
You know, and so like, you know, like you know, punk rock kind of evolved into like pop punk to a certain degree.
Sure.
You know, and like you know, and so the new underground music were these like small, like you know, bedroom producer like
for
labels.
Sure. For sure. That was an example, right?
Yeah, I love that. I love that DIY aesthetic.
Yeah.
You know, and
But did that give rise to like that indie hip hop too? I wonder if that's all from the same time period.
you know, when I listen to like modern day trap music, I feel like there's hints of that IDM.
But you know, there was that
culture
there was that whole like backpack rap thing they called it. It's a weird genre, but it was just super indie rap.
Like Grimes, you know, stuff.
I don't even know, man.
Like,
I don't know
anyone-
enough. I don't know enough, but I just know that it's super indie.
Yeah, I know there's a genre of hip hop called Grimes or grime, and it's like an English.
I heard of that. I don't even know what it is, but yeah.
I think it's English, and it kind of sounds like it has like elements of that like, you know, weird IDM electronic sound, but with like kind of like, you know, a rapper kind of
Right.
you know spitting on top of it, you know, and
Did you like it?
I tried listening to some of it, and I think you know it's cool, but like, I'm not familiar enough with it to like you know say anything.
There was a when was the time period would you say that kind of I guess you would say that a person who was into metal could also like new wave, because it was sort of like when I grew up it was you're into one or the other, but you know, and then there was also rap, right?
I think it was
like
21st
rap
century, man.
like year 2000. Do you think?
Yeah,
Or do you think it was before that? Because like I remember in high school, for me as high school, Beastie Boys came out, and I'm like, oh, I could like punk rock, but I could also like the Beastie Boys, and they were rap, right?
Right.
And I just remember there was a time when it all kind of meshed, like Public Enemy. I could listen to Public Enemy,
You know what
but I
I
didn't.
think of?
You know,
Lollapalooza.
yeah, but maybe that's when it came out. Like maybe
That
they're
was
the ones that
I think that was the beginning.
maybe
of
they're the
that,
ones
like,
that banked off of it, though, right?
Right, because like
Yeah,
I remember
you might be right.
1991.
What year is that?
Lollapalooza was 1991.
Okay, so
Yeah.
90s. Okay.
And I remember going to the first one, and that very first one like had like Nine Inch Nails and Jane's Addiction and
Sure,
Susie and the
Jane's
Banshees
Addiction, yeah.
and you know Rage Against the Machine I think played it.
So, but that's an example. Like all of a sudden, Rage Against the Machine, they can rap.
But then
kind of.
Ice-T played
Yeah.
it as well.
Yeah.
And Body
Count.
Body Count. You know?
But that's what I'm saying. It's like all the music started meshing, so it was okay to like one or the other. It was starting to mesh too. you
Right,
know?
right. And then like the second Lollapalooza had
Yeah.
Ice Cube in it, you
Yeah.
know, and
I didn't go to any of these, by the way, but
Oh, you didn't?
I never went to Lollapalooza. No.
I was a big music. Like I lived in San Luis Obispo at the time,
Oh.
so like I like you know.
I didn't go to music festivals. I think I might have went to one or two, but it just wasn't. I didn't want to. Yeah, I wasn't into it.
I think what was the last music festival I went? Oh, I went to freaking whatchamacallit, that thing in the desert.
Coachella.
Coachella. I went to Coachella.
I've never
last
been to a
year.
Coachella. I've never been to a Burning Man.
I
Which
mean,
got nothing
I've
to do
never
with
been to a
anything.
Burning Man.
Okay, they're not the same thing.
No,
Yeah.
no, I think they're very different because
Yeah, I
I
was
think
kind of kidding, but yeah. No, but you know, I've never been to. I don't really go to music festivals.
yeah, I don't know, like
But yeah.
the art thing kind of like gets me into these things, like you know, like hey, in one of my an old friend and collector of mine was a basically is now a member of the family that owns the polo field that Coachella is held on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
So if I wanted to,
Wait. Coachella's on a polo field?
yeah.
Dude, I thought it was in the middle of a desert.
No, it's in a polo field in
Oh,
the middle
jeez.
of a desert.
Okay.
I know.
So people play. We're talking about
Like if you like go outside in the outskirts of the Coachella field, there are horse.
Oh, I didn't know that.
all over
Okay,
there, yeah.
shoot, I thought it was okay.
Yeah,
It's in the
and
desert.
freaking Stagecoach and Coachella,
Wow.
are
Wow.
held there. I've heard Stagecoach is pretty wild. That's the country one.
Oh, geez, I didn't even know there's such thing. It's called
Yeah.
Stagecoach.
Yeah, Stagecoach. Yeah, it's right. It's the week after. There's two weeks of
Wait,
Coachella.
there's Old Chella, right?
I think that was an experiment. And I
Oh.
don't think it worked out. But after, I could be wrong. I might be completely wrong. But I remember the first quote unquote Old Cello, which is not what it's called, but
I don't know what it's called.
It was what was referred to, and it featured I think a lot of bands that Rolling Stones and freaking
Dire Straits. I'm just trying to think of an old. I'm just trying to think of an
Fleetwood
old.
Mac-ish kind
Oh,
of
Fleetwood
stuff.
Mac's kind of cool, right?
Oh, Fleetwood Mac's great.
Yeah, okay.
But they came to prominence, in a generation before,
right.
the Coachella, kids.
Oh, for sure. Shit,
You know.
they're left out in the dust.
Well,
Some of these bands were playing Knott's Berry Farm probably not too long ago.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about I remember when I was at Coachella #5, the fifth one that was held in 2004 or 2004, and that one I think that was the one that had The Cure and Radiohead and Pixies reunion and
Wow.
Beck played the secret show and the field killer. The Killers just kind of we're still coming
Wow.
coming up, and I remember going to that, and I remember thinking Coachella was kind of a little Palooza-ish kind of event. But then now Beyonce played last year.
Oh, she
and-
did?
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Jeez.
Eminem played
Wait,
last year.
how many people go? Is this 50,000 people type of thing?
I think it's a lot more than that.
Wow.
I think it's 150,000 people, I think.
Damn.
Maybe. I might be wrong.
Wow.
Or maybe 50. I don't know. It's
Damn
a
it.
fucking polo field.
That's crazy.
You don't see everybody at once.
Well, where's everybody staying? Tents? There's not enough hotels for 100,000 people.
There are tents that, there's really plush air conditioned tents you could rent out if you are a baller.
Wow.
And there's a field where, tons of people with their cars camp out at.
Oh, they sleep in their car.
Or they bring a tent and
Right.
they park their car there and they erect a tent
Man.
next to the car.
Oh.
And that just looks that's what I would call roughing it. I've never done that before.
Where do you stay?
I would usually just
A hotel, or do you drive in and drive out?
No, I would find the first time I went, we stayed with some friends. The second time I went, a friend of mine had a condo that let us stay there, and the third time I went, same kind of thing.
Wow.
I need air conditioning,
Yeah.
and I need a roof over my head, running water,
Sure.
a refrigeration,
And pizza.
fucking pizza.
Yeah. God damn it.
Though I've never had never eaten pizza, and I just don't feel like eating pizza when I'm in
Oh,
the
really?
middle of a desert.
Okay.
I feel like eating, I don't know,
Salad?
salad, Mexican food, burritos. Kind of feel like this the closer, the more south you get,
Right.
Though it's not really south. You're just
No,
going
you're
east.
just fucking east in the middle of death zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking. I don't know why people like fucking doing that fucking event.
Yeah.
And all that heat, but I don't know.
But have you ever participated in art? Is it Coachella has art related?
Yeah.
I remember artists were getting asked to do things there,
Yeah.
young artists.
Yeah.
Did you ever do stuff there? What did you do there?
I did a life painting thing once.
But where? Was Radiohead playing and you're in the background painting?
No.
Okay.
They
How does
had this...
I've never been, so pretend I'm blind.
Okay,
and I
so
don't even
Matt,
know what you're
here's
talking
the
about.
gigantic field. There's stages here,
Mhm.
here.
There's
here.
stages. What? 5 stages?
Yeah, there's about 4 or 5 stages.
There's also tents, and in the tent is a DJ. Is that correct? I've seen tents, a big ass tent.
No, that's that would be considered a stage.
Oh, that's still a stage.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's a gigantic tent.
Okay.
Yeah, and
So it's indoors, right?
there's a roof, but it's not really indoors.
Oh, okay.
Because the opening is wide open.
Gotcha.
So they get
All right.
plenty of airflow.
Mm-hmm.
But they there was this kind of a little section that they you know, where they had like an arts kind of thing. Like it wasn't like any of the big installation-y stuff. You know, like when you go to nowadays, you'll see gigantic installations like all across the field. You know, like installations that people can interact with.
This sort of sounds like Burning Man. Is it Burning Man?
Not
style?
nearly as reckless as Burning Man is.
But so you've done art at somewhere like.
Yeah, I did a live painting thing there.
Look, okay.
You know,
like how big's a live painting? Like, is it 6 foot tall canvas type of thing?
It was like a 5 foot by 5 foot canvas.
Right on.
You know, and it's live.
But how does that work? Did somebody invite you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, how many artists were there? It sounds like this place is so big. There could be 1,000 artists doing this at the same time.
Yeah, there could be.
Oh wow.
You know, I mean, but like.
Dude, what do they give you for that? Do they go, here's $100, thanks, or
here's like a VIP pass
to the event?
Know, to the event,
okay.
You know, and blah blah blah. Like I think I've paid for it once. You know.
But you've gone as an artist to do stuff there a little bit.
Like I've done.
Wow.
Like
okay.
you know, I've done like they have like customized trash cans by artists. You know, and I did one of those just for shits and giggles last year. You know, but
and
like
didn't that get you a free ticket to go?
Got me a free ticket,
right
but
on.
like you know, but it's like you know, there's also like 5 or 6 tiers of VIP.
Oh, so what did your? I didn't know this. So wait, what does your tier give you?
It gets you access to certain like bars and you know a certain section of the field that's close to the stage.
Is it free drinks in this bar? Or
no?
No. Okay.
No.
Okay.
And certain restaurants.
So you're just getting access.
Yeah, but then like I contacted my friend and she was able to upgrade my
to level 2
to the next level up.
What did that
maybe
get you?
2 levels up.
What did that get you? Free bottle of water. Yeah.
Like I could walk around to the artist sections and like where the bands are hanging out and stuff like that.
Awesome.
If I wanted to, but I was really most of the time just kind of traversing the area, just trying to discover new music and like you know trying to like you know because I wanted to.
Wow,
I wanted
serious.
to know what kids are listening to these days, you know, because I don't like literally when I look at the list, I'll be lucky if I recognize like more than 3 artists, you know, and I'll be even more lucky if I like more than 2 of them.
You might not like any of them.
Like this year, there's 2 bands that are playing that I would actually love to see.
Wait, Coachella?
At Coachella.
Oh, they already announced it?
Yeah, they announced it like and that is Aphex Twin and Tame Impala. You know, and
who else is playing? Do you even know? No. Okay. You've never heard of the acts?
I know I've heard of some of them.
Oh, okay.
You know, but like none of them like that give you know even a thought about.
Wow. Okay.
Like you know, like I haven't had like a headliner band like play that event in over like 10 years. I think.
Oh my god.
You know,
yeah.
So. But you know,
I just always freak out on those events because I mean, it's probably really organized, but I always think back to that reboot of Woodstock. You know, that was all fucked up.
Oh yeah.
There's like, did people die at that one, and then people got raped, and like I always think of like the worst that's happening, and I assume Coachella was like that at one time, but I figure
Coachella was an event that grew. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't.
Wasn't it fucked up in the beginning?
I think the very first one like had like it was small. Like
right.
The first time the first event I think they did was like 25,000 people. You know.
That's pretty big, dude.
I remember I was looking at the history of it,
and
I was like kind of surprised with just how like. You know how like it started off pretty humbly as a music festival because like they had Rage Against the Machine playing it and I was I was 20 approximately in 19 it was thrown in 1993 I think.
Wow.
You know that actually doesn't sound right.
93? It could be.
Concert thrown by no. It drew its origins several years earlier from a concert thrown by Pearl Jam in 1993. Approximately 25,000 people attended the festival, which took place only 3 months after Woodstock 1999. You know.
Wow.
But yeah. So that's you know, I guess Mercury Insurance, you know, has something to do with it. I don't know. That's weird.
Better be paying out to the people that got fucked up. Didn't some people get like exhaustion and I don't know. I just remember hearing the worst of it, but I always trip out on festivals because I'm always like thinking, oh man, bad things are gonna happen.
Yeah. You know, like I said, like, you know, if you start off like a $25,000, 25,000,
That's a city,
people,
man.
You know, it's a town. And, but like I think
there's no government. There's no. You're just talking about 25,000.
no, but they're able to pack these people into a field.
Yeah.
You know,
and they're just fucking anarchy inside.
Right now, in 2 years ago, in 2017, 250,000 people showed up.
My goodness.
Yeah.
That's
Now that is a fucking city.
There's a lot of fucked up shit happening.
Yeah,
I wonder the darkest parts of that is. It must be so weird. There must be some gnarly weird shit happening. That we don't know about.
You know, like the times I've gone, I traversed the entire damn like field, and this is just fucking kids being kids, you know. And I just stand there going, I am. Tweeting at I am too old for Coachella. I am too old for Coachella. I am too old for Coachella.
Oh no.
And I am too old for Coachella. You know, you're both too old for Coachella.
That's why I don't go to Coachella, so I don't even know.
You know, like, but if someone gave you a ticket, would you go?
No, I'd sell it.
That's a good idea.
I don't think I'd go. No.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't go.
Yeah.
I mean, would the ticket include a ride there and like a room to stay in and all that shit? Maybe.
If you had a place to stay, like, you know, like with the friends, with your like a comfortable place to stay.
Maybe I would go. Maybe.
You know,
yeah.
and like, you know, it's only like the freaking
2 hours.
It's a 2 hour drive.
I'd go hang out with the date farmer dudes, whoever they are. Those dudes. I met one of them. I don't really know them, but I'll just go hang out with them.
I don't think they're together anymore.
They're not brothers anymore?
I don't think they work together anymore.
Oh, so they're they're date farmer.
Right.
There's separate.
That's what I heard. According to, I think Dove was telling me that.
Oh wow, they're rad artists. So.
Oh yeah, they're amazing.
I wonder what their separate work looks like. Like, there's an iconic
It's
look
like the
to
Clayton brothers too. The Clayton brothers don't work together anymore either.
But do you know what I mean? But like, so are you getting two different date farmers that like the work looks alike, or I wonder if there's two very separate looking work. I'm very curious because I don't really know them individually at all. I met one. I met one of them once.
Blown away by like collaborative like artists, like either brothers or couples, like Cozy and Dan, and like, you know, like Dabs and Mila, you know, or like, you know, like Clayton brothers.
Well, the good part, I guess the good partners stay together, I suppose. You know what I mean? Like there's a symmetry or a symbiosis that makes them work together, but at the same time, yeah, I guess when it runs out, I don't know if they can individually make it. We'll see. You know,
right?
Like,
right.
Because I didn't know that date farmers are split up, and if they are, then I don't know what each of their pieces look like. I don't even know their names. You know, like who.
I have no. I don't know them personally, so I don't know.
I met one though at Giant Robot. He came by, and I was like honored to meet one of the date farmers. You know?
Yeah.
They're rad. The work's rad.
Yeah, their work is rad, and they're.
It's like it seems like it's. I mean, are they Latino? And I guess is their family were date farmers, right? Supposedly, I don't know. That's kind of what I heard.
All right, and they must have been from the valley.
Yeah, but the whole thing is, I think they're Latino, and the art just looks like all of these. Everything I just described. That's what the art kind of feels like to me. Is like, oh, it all makes sense.
Yeah. And
they deserve that art to look like that, and it actually tells us history of them and all this kind of stuff. It's rad, but then individually, I don't know. Like, I don't know what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Clayton Brothers, same thing. I guess. But God, their work was a certain way, and now that they're separate, I don't, I sort of don't know what individually just the work looks like.
Yeah.
I
don't know. It's always so weird. Like, well, even like say Cozy and Dan. Like, which part is Cozy and what part is Dan?
Oh, they don't care. They're just even if they do separate work, it's still called Cozy and Dan, right? Like Dan's photography is still called Cozy and Dan. Yeah. So no matter what, it's Cozy and Dan.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's how it is. So, like, if she does ceramics, it'll be Cozy and Dan. Although, the last show, she actually used her name. Just her name. But I guess Dan said he encouraged her to do that, to have a separate name. And she said that some galleries, I guess, don't want to do that. They're like, no, it's got to be Cozy and Dan, because they're trying to...
Like, work with the brand.
Yeah, and I was just like, no, let's just go with, Cozy. It's all good. Kozue,
Yeah.
And, I'm good with that. But
are they where else are they showing? Because I
don't
hear too much.
The fella who passed away. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I met him maybe once. I don't. Escalante.
Yeah, Greg Escalante.
They worked with that gallery. but I believe they wanted to use Cozy and Dan, and that they wanted to. Maybe I heard they wanted to just use her name only, but they refused.
Now,
I don't know if that's true.
I saw that piece at KP Projects afterwards. Like I think they're working with Mary Karnowski now.
Could be.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
so, but
I don't know.
that's great.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that gigantic like mountain tiger, mountain lion piece. Were you at that show?
No.
No.
The show was like one weekend, and then he passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he killed himself.
Yeah, but it was after their like maybe a day after their opening, something like that. It was like their show was only up for one weekend, and then the gallery closed. Yeah.
Like I remember seeing him like the day before.
Oh wow.
You know the night of the opening.
Oh wow.
And then the news came out that he was gone.
Yeah.
No, it was completely. But then like on hindsight, because hindsight's always fucking 20/20, right? You're like, oh yeah, he was pretty quiet that day. But some people have loud days, some people have quiet days.
Yeah.
Can't fucking
Be loud all the time.
Yeah, can't carry the fucking weight of the world on your hands. So.
I'm trying to think of other artists. Can you think of any other ones who split up and actually are trying to make a go of it as individual artists? Which I'm trying to think of one that's worked out where one of them or both of them have succeeded individually, because it's sort of like creating a brand. You could use that example, Supreme. Whoever the creators are, if they individually says, I'm going to make a side brand, and it probably wouldn't be as big as Supreme, or even close. Not even half, or maybe not even 1/50th of the distance. It may not even get anywhere, right?
Right.
So it's one of those things that's really hard to make a second one as big as your first one. You know what I'm saying? It's almost
unless you bail on the first one before it gets too big.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can't think of very many. Like, Gamos, are a duo.
They're still a duo, I believe.
They're still a duo. And is that how you pronounce it, or is it Gemos?
Himeos, or I don't know if you say the G. Yeah, I don't know.
Amos?
Yeah, something like that. That means the brothers or something, right? Or the twins or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then like I know whatchamacallit, like Dabs and Mila are still together, but another thing about like the Clan Brothers is like they're also teaching.
Yeah.
And so like they might be like just not like kind of going full bore on their art careers.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But
it might not be as easy either to like start all over as a solo artist, right? It might not be. So
right.
Maybe you're just like at that point, if you're not a young buck, you're like, fuck it, man. I'm just gonna teach. And
like you kind of need because the thing about I imagine the thing about like duo artists is that like each if they're really serious about the hustle, like then like one person is handling one thing while the other person handles another, and you just kind of switch back and forth like one person's handling like like negotiations with like galleries or like rubbing elbows while the other one's painting, and then they switch places to
you think they do? Most of the time I have a feeling it just stays one way. You know what I'm saying? One does that and then always does that because they're good at it, then the other one's better at this and they do that. One draws the lines, one colors it in, or one, you know what I'm saying? I have a feeling, I don't know if they could just switch off,
I don't know.
I'm gonna do the fine line this time. You paint it in. And the guy's like, but I've always done the fine lines. What the fuck? I don't know.
I mean, let's say like Cozy and Dan's work. Uh-huh. I don't know much about their
She draws
process. Better. Okay, but like
she's more class. I think she's like classical, not classically, but I mean she's trained in Japan drawing.
Right.
I don't know if Dan was, but yeah, she draws better.
I always kind of.
But he's got the wacky mind, so.
Oh. Yeah. Because I always look at like
Wacky is a bad word, by the way. Not wacky, but
eccentric.
I think he's more eccentric, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Because like I always kind of felt like the character stuff like was Cozy, but like I wasn't sure whether or not like all the like buildings and backgrounds and all the other stuff was
I think
her as well.
The joke a long time ago was that I can look at a drawing and I could see what Dan drew. Okay. I'll go, okay, you drew this, 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 and this. you know, and then he'll go, yeah, I drew that too. And I'll go, that's definitely you. You could tell, you know, the
Right.
line quality and maybe the hand.
Right.
You can kind of tell. I think that was a while ago, and I don't know about now, but yeah, there was a time when I could see. I'm like, oh, Jan, you drew this part. I could tell. You know, it'd be all fucked up. I'm kidding.
No, you're not.
I know that some in their case, I know that, you know, like she draws a storm, man. She can draw amazing.
Right.
I think he knows that. I mean, I don't think he shies away from saying, hey, dude, she draws amazing.
Yeah.
And he draws not as amazing, but
Right.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, people who draw
Yeah.
amazing, you know, like
And fast too, I think, you know.
people, those guys are great.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I think if I put more practice into it, I could probably become better at drawing. But
Drawing, you get better if you draw every day.
but
I do know
want
that.
to draw every day.
Yeah, okay. Some people do, right? And
Yeah.
they get better and better and better. They do. Even shitty people at drawing get better at drawing.
Right.
It happens. And I'm like, oh, you make your shitty style really good all of a sudden. It's amazing. It sounds like an insult, but, you know, I'm like, oh, in your shitty way, you draw amazing.
Right. I know. It's like
That's a compliment, you know? Seriously.
I think that like I'm like I don't know like don't you think that like you know there's always like this weird kind of thing about like illustration versus art.
Oh, man. That's an entire episode, maybe.
I know. Maybe,
Yeah.
yeah.
Should we cover that one right now? We're going to be here for a lot longer.
I don't know. And maybe we should save. I think we should
Yeah.
like.
Okay, we'll save that
I
one.
would like to bring in like another artist into.
Oh, we have to do that too, but yeah.
another illustrator in because that's like you know because like I don't want to be illustrative.
Right.
I know my work. I don't want to be an illustrator. I know my work is illustrative,
Yeah.
but I don't want to. You know, I'm trying to deconstruct my work now
Right.
rather than rely on like I'll see myself like especially with this what I'm currently working on where I'm sketching out ideas, and then I'm just like and then I'll look at it and I'm like, oh, it's too tight, you know, and I'll just go in there with a paintbrush and just kind of scribble
Awesome.
it out.
That's
know?
cool.
And so because I don't want to like I'm trying to move like I don't know. I think that like fucking illustration versus
That's a long
arts.
one, man. That's an amazing one, though.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's definitely one of the
That's
subjects
amazing.
you had to get into.
Yeah.
So let me think. Oh wait, so so you were into like going back a little bit
Yeah.
to computers.
Yeah.
Like you were into computers in high school.
This is before high school, to be dead honest. In high school, I kind of got out of computers. I think it's because I no longer had a Mac. I was, I got a PC.
Isn't programming on a PC easier than a Mac?
I don't program though, man. I just.
But like coding and stuff like doing.
I didn't do any coding either. But you know what I mean? Like I was using a Mac, I loved it, and I think at some point we got a PC and I just hated it. And it was a word processor is what it was.
Right.
All I did was use it to write papers on and print it out, and that's really it. I didn't get to use it for anything more than that. So I kind of wish there was never a break from Macs because I would have probably been into more stuff.
So what happened to you in college?
I had to study, man.
Were you involved in? I mean, like
computer stuff? No, I was even further out of it. No. Yeah, no, didn't
But
hardly any.
What were you doing? What were you interested in college?
Oh, college time. So that was weird. So I did photography. I went to Santa Monica College for a long time.
Okay.
So I did photography. That's what I was really into. So that's super analog, right? That's pre-digital.
Well, you're still into photography.
Processing
now,
film.
right?
Yeah, I'm into it, but it's like it was all pre-digital. So
Right.
I was really into that, and not really into that. Shooting photos all the time, right? And then as I later on went to UCLA.
Is
and
that
it was
all
just,
your zine? Are the zines that you've published of your
Oh,
concerts
from the pit. Yeah, it was all. It's all photos I took.
from that period?
Yeah, pretty much late 80s, early 90s. But I was studying to be a photojournalist, right? That was the real goal. Was I wanted to work for a LA Times or National Geographic.
Right.
I wanted to be a photographer that runs out and just takes photos of photojournalism.
Right.
That was my goal, and luckily I didn't do that. So because all those things are gone pretty much. I guess it would be online, but does that count? It's like I felt like in print was different than online.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Oh, I agree. I think that like.
you know, like I feel like in print lasts longer for some reason. Maybe it's because a magazine comes out once a month, and online you look at pictures, and the next day you've already forgotten what you looked at, and then
Sure.
you're moved on, right?
Sure,
So I feel like
you're paying more attention to like the printed image.
I
rather
felt like
than
that that was more value then, but I'm glad I didn't do it because now it's just like fucking Instagram photos are even better. You know,
it's such a weird.
like I look at
thing.
you consume more photography than ever, but it's all like really low budge, like instant quick stuff, but I enjoy it. Right, it's just as enjoyable as, you know, watching a starving child in Africa like trying to get water or something. Right, it's like, oh, you know, those photography is so gnarly, but now you don't even you don't look at that stuff. It's just look at my dinner, look at my lunch. Look at my pizza. You know, it's like
how as a
that's sort
fan
of
of photography, you know, like how do you feel about like all
that's
this?
fucking gnarly, right? I still like photography, but it's one of those things where I guess I support it less personally. Like I don't really show photography as a gallery art, but I love photography. I get it, but I really, you know, I think I'm still. There's too many people out there I hear who just think, oh, I could have shot that picture. You know, I could have done that with my phone. You know. And I still love photography, but there's that attitude's out there, and that's just like, I don't say it ruins it for me because I still like it, but I look at that and I'm like, oh man, if that's the norm, because I feel like that's 80% of the people or more, you know, or 90 maybe, then you know it's really hard to change that education.
Right.
So
I kind of felt like my background was graphic design, and I kind of feel like, you know.
Oh, everyone's a graphic designer now.
Everyone's a fucking graphic designer.
Everyone's a
but like,
photographer,
I
yeah.
remember like I took a couple of classes when I first got into school. I went to college in 1991, and I was studying graphic communication, which is the printing technology thing.
Right.
And like, you know, I remember like they had like these terminals, the green screen terminals, where you know you're typing stuff out, and your hands kerning like all your lettering.
Oh wow.
You know, so it's all in, like, you know, you get the whatchamacallit, the text. You need to go in there and like find like all the like R's butted up against like, you know, like a straight like an L, or like a, let me think, what else is there, or even like double O, like two circular letters, like two O's. You have to go there and you insert code into it to kind of get the kerning just perfect, and you'd be graded.
A lot of people don't even know what that is. What you're talking about.
Right, and then I also took a Ruby class.
It's called typography, is what that is.
That's real typography. Yeah.
That stuff matters.
It does. Like
it does.
It's
No,
always
I'm really into it.
tragedy when you see like freaking like lettering, and like, you know they didn't even take a second to look at the letter spacing. You know?
I see it all the time, and you see it with signs in stores even. Less in, like, I don't really pay attention online because that's just online.
Well, you can't control like like, because like things shift around like from device to device.
Yeah.
Right? You know.
But I mean, I do see it in signs, and once in a while logos, if they're shitty, I see it there and I'm like, no kerning, you fucked up. You know, like it's so obvious, right? Because fonts are made shitty sometimes, like especially the amateur fonts.
Oh yeah.
On dafont.com or whatever it is, like some of the free fonts.
Oh, I download those sometimes just to get
but they're so poorly done that you can't just use them, and if you do, you're going to end up with a poor, really shitty product. You know. More than likely. So you have to fix those.
Were you familiar with Emigre fonts?
Sure.
Yeah, I remember.
I used to love that. Now I think they're just all right. Like I'm not that into it, but
I don't even know if they're still around anymore.
But I used to like the idea and concept of it. Like, oh, it's like this kind of small whatever.
Yeah, font house. You know, but they also used to do a magazine.
Yeah.
They used to do a zine.
Yeah.
And I still have like all those. I still have the big ones.
Wow.
And then the medium sized ones and the small ones.
Good shit.
So like I was a big design nerd, so like, you know, I remember like that's how like I used to like read communication arts and print.
That's the good shit.
You know, like that's my college nerd phase. I nerded out on two things when I was in college: music and design. You know, and I used to want to be like David Carson.
Oh no. David Carson, Ray Gun magazine.
Yep.
Most people aren't going to know what we're talking about, but Ray Gun magazine was the magazine that was almost illegible.
Oh yeah. They did articles in like dingbats.
Yeah.
You know, like where
Weird.
like Zaf Dingbats. There's a letter with a letter. Each word is associated with a symbol, and they would like do an entire article in Zaf Dingbats.
There was one issue of Ray Gun that was, I think it was like the Japan issue. That was really cool. Like I remember I really liked that issue of that magazine. I still have it somewhere, but that one was kind of influential, and like I was like, oh shit, it was like a really, really interestingly done issue. But for the most part now, it's famous for being illegible.
Yeah,
And that guy's famous for being, some people say he's a genius, and some people say he's the shittiest graphic designer ever, right? And he supposedly didn't know how to use a computer. That was what I remember.
Well,
I've heard about him.
What's funny about that is that he did, he came to our school and spoke, and he did do an issue, which was all with using the stock fonts on a Macintosh.
Oh wow, cool.
Yeah, so like Chicago, Courier,
Yeah.
like because they used like city font. All the fonts had city names. Remember that? Like so the most popular one is Chicago.
Right.
So it's that ugly like sans serif font, and apparently it was the ugliest issue of Ray Gun, which used nothing but stock Apple fonts. Yeah. But like I really wanted to be a David Carson.
So I did too. And I wanted to be Vaughn Oliver, who was the 4AD graphic designer.
Vaughn
right?
Oliver, man.
Yeah.
There was an anniversary release that they did, like a 4AD, and it was this beautiful Vaughn Oliver book, and it had like all this like beautiful design work. It was like they used like triple thick like kind of like panel board, cardboardish board.
Wait, what is the anniversary thing?
I forgot. It was like 4AD release.
How long ago?
In the 90s.
Mm.
And the CD was set into it.
Yeah, I have that. I have it. I'm serious.
I want to see it because
I have it, and I think he signed it for me. I got an autograph because I met him in person, type of thing, and he was signing that book, and I bought it.
If you dig it up one of these days, please.
And I believe it's like weird. The spine, I believe, has like tape, like it's like taped spine.
Right. I think.
And I don't know what you call it. It's that tape that has like fibers in it.
Yep.
It goes all the way through, and that's the spine. I have that.
Yeah, I remember seeing that, and like the owner of the record store would not sell it to me.
Oh, and the guy, I think the guy from 4AD, was it Evo or Ivo or something?
Ivo something.
I believe he was there too, and I think he signed the book too for me.
Yeah.
And it was like, I think it was in
Dude, like all that signing. Old like Cocteau Twins like stuff.
I thought that was the greatest graphic design ever, but that's it's all I knew at the time.
Peter Saville was another one that I was a big fan of.
I think we interviewed him in Giant Robot.
Really?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, Peter Saville.
I don't remember everybody, so I'm
like,
pretty sure he was interviewed in Giant Robot.
How many freaking issues of the magazine have you done? Yeah, Peter Saville, David Carson, and Vaughn Oliver. Those three were like design gods to me.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I think I've told the story many times, but like basically by the time I was ready to graduate, my professors all pulled me aside and said, "You're a better illustrator."
Oh yeah.
Than a designer.
Maybe and maybe that's a good idea.
Yeah, and which is which I already knew at the time, so I kind of whatever.
Said fuck it. But so I think we've dropped a lot of knowledge and a lot of names.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, is anyone here writing these down? Because I would suggest you write all this down. There is so much to research here. Like I bet you.
Unless you know it, unless you grew up with these kind of ideas.
I'm gonna guess that no, but like for example, all the graphic designers we named, Peter Saville maybe, but like, what happened to Vaughn Oliver and where is David Carson today?
I looked him up recently. I think he has a website somewhere.
Vaughn Oliver or David Carson. I mean, both of them like you don't hear about anymore, but they were like influential at the time.
Oh yeah, they were huge.
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah.
Vaughn Oliver.
Yeah.
There we go.
I just remember he was all drunk. That's when I got he signed it. Oh, and I remember one of the funniest things was I think we asked him about computers and graphic design. He was all drunk and he goes, "I think we have one of those." Like that's what he said. It's something like that. He goes, "One of those Mac computers or something." He just said that, and it was funny.
That's it. Yeah. 23 envelope.
23 envelope.
Yeah.
That was the name of the graphic design firm, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Really cool.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're still around, but maybe they're not. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, they're old men now, you know.
Yeah, well, he's only 60 something now.
Oh, really? Well, old man, yeah.
I mean, like, let me see. He was born in 57.
Yeah, he's old. Fuck.
You know, but like, I mean, like that was like all that work definitely belongs in like a museum.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
It's,
if he has any, I don't know.
I'm sure it's like I'm sure his work is all in the collection. Of
Original stuff or something. Yeah.
Some museum or something like that.
All the ruby liths.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, David Carson.
He's still probably around, I believe.
Yeah,
I think so, but I looked him up too, and I don't remember anymore.
Yeah, he's still doing crazy freaking typography.
It's the only way he knows how.
Yeah. He has a website. There it is. It's probably a Flash website. Yeah, I can't even.
Doesn't even work. Not on your phone.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird, like, I'm sure he's got a.
It's probably just a portfolio, right?
Yeah, it looks like it. It looks like a lot of older stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, right on, man.
But yeah, how long have we been at it for?
I think over 2 hours.
All right, let's call it a day.
I think we're gonna call it a day.
Let us know what you think. Of the,
Sorry, everybody. This was long, and we went through a lot of history, but
yeah, we're trying to we're aspiring for these long format kind of.
But we are laying
things.
down the foundation. This is like a foundation.
Yeah.
Now you know sort of where we come from.
Mm-hmm. Let us know where you come from.
Yeah.
Did we leave anybody out that that
tons of shit
would make sense for us to have been into that just slipped our minds?
Yeah. Does anyone know? Probably not. Everyone's like, oh, what are you talking about?
Like, I'm only 20.
I like the Fyre Fest.
Oh my god, that was such a great dog. We talked about that last time. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I like the Fyre Fest. That's the best.
We haven't it's gonna. I have a feeling. After those documentaries, I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to resurrect the idea.
Yeah, it's going to be a real festival.
Yeah.
Yep.
But we haven't worked on a sign out yet.
Nope, we haven't, and we don't have a logo or a design.
I'm going to work on that next.
Yeah.
I'm just too busy with Chicago.
We don't have a website, but I don't know if we need one yet.
Nah.
But maybe. But we do have a name. We don't have a URL. I don't know if we need one.
I don't think we need one either.
Okay.
I like the fact that it's on the Eric Nakamura.
But so then I'll set it up to go to iTunes because it's not set up yet for that.
Yeah,
but we do need a graphic or a picture or something. We don't have one, but we're supposed to have one.
Sure. Well,
I think it requires something.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know. I will try and get something.
We're going to have the best looking logo. Check this out. Luke Chu's doing it. That means there's going to be cool art.
Or it's going to be totally predictable.
There's going to be a robot with a broken record. I can't wait for it. Oh my god. Bloody hands with broken.
Or it's going to be a robot with a with a bear head.
Yeah.
Or it's going to be half robot, half bear head.
Yeah. Oh, see, look at that. Yeah, it's going to be the best one ever. It's going to
be there's t-shirts.
It's going to go.
We're going to start a fucking a clothing brand over it.
And a Sofubi. So there. Yeah.
Yes.
You ready? Okay. We're just getting going. So.
You ready for this?
Yeah. Oh no. That's a sign off. All right.